Welcome to the first choice.
Please, God.
This is God.
He is inside with us! He will never get away! His pain won't end!
Here's Johnny.
Hello, you beautiful, gruesome bastards, and welcome to another edition of my Brain Dead Breakdowns for this Halloween season. And tonight, me and my guest will be discussing the horror spoof of the Hammer Horrors, Carry On Screaming. I am joined by the Inside Man. How are you doing, man?
Very well, thank you. Looking forward to this one. A particular favourite?
Yep. And Rachel Pearcy Art. How are you doing?
Doing okay.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. And I'm so glad to have you two, join me to discuss this really funny and probably kind of a very sort of odd one out of the usual Carry On series. But at the same time, it does have a familiarity to it. It's still got the same humor, but visually, it's so much more, it feels so much more different. And it does have a bit more of that horror tone, which makes it even funnier, in my opinion. So in the chat, I'm joined by Nix, Toxic.
Hey.
How you doing, man? And Admiral Teague.
My favourite people.
Always welcome to see you.
All of them, my favourite people.
Yeah, no. So yeah, let's get all this. Let's get some comments up as well. Where are you? Hail all, Admiral Teague. Hail Nix. And yes, Brian tonight. Fandad Menace and Toxic. Yeah, very unfamiliar with this. It's definitely part of British culture. I'd really recommend some of the Carry On movies as well to sort of to understand why this is still one of the better entries in that series. I would highly recommend mostly the 1960s Carry On movies. The 70s, okay, but you can see the quality start to decline a little bit.
Yeah, it did drop.
And so, yes, why it doesn't get better on the rewatch. It doesn't lose its initial flair either. One of them rare ones that keeps getting the same level of good over time. Okay, I think it's one I kind of like a little bit more as I've gotten older. I think because since I started watching the Hammer movies a bit more, I kind of sort of see, I can really sort of see the influence on this, and it really does feel like a Hammer horror, but at the same time, it's hilarious. It's kind of like Shaun of the Dead when he does his take on George A. Romero, but he's still got all these great fucking gags going on. So yeah, plenty of potatoes are fueling this internet tonight. Hopefully quality ones. It's a lot. Not enough go. I must remember to add a bit more go. you know, because there's plenty of great going moments in horror movies. To get masterpiece, yeah. So wait, there are more Carry On movies. My weekend is ruined. Now I got to watch them all. Just stick by the 1960s ones. You'll be okay. But they are very funny and some very good bawdy humor back when we could sort of laugh about being a little sexist towards women.
Especially in this one.
Yeah, because this was kind of the area where this was kind of the era where in the 60s where people were allowed to sort of say a few sexy things on camera, but still kind of have it hidden under these little innuendos. And it's like, wait, watch where you put that stethoscope. Ooh,
yeah,
that little kind of thing going on.
Matron, take them away.
Yes, I was once a weak man. Well, once a week is enough for any man.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, moving on. Okay, obviously, this is Rachel's first time watching this as well, and I don't know if this was the first time she ever came into knowledge of this, but still, what were your thoughts on this movie the first time watching it?
Oh my goodness, it was hilarious. I don't think I stopped laughing from the first encounter.
Yeah, with Jim Dale sort of being the bumbling, the boyfriend as well. Or she keeps mentioning all this stuff like, I'm feeling fingers going up my spine. It's like, well, I did have my gloves on. It's like, well, I keep hearing panting. Well, I can't help the way I feel about your love.
Oh my God.
Well, that's what was great.
It was brilliant.
Yeah, and the thing is, a lot of people probably won't remember this, but the actor Jim Dale was kind of this like 60s teen heartthrob. He was this pop star, and I thought, okay, since he's such a handsome looking fucker, let's make him a bit of a bumbling idiot to make it work. And he does pull it off. He kind of played that part all the time in the Carry On movies, but it's a part that he really did well. I mean, despite the fact he could have been a pretty good straightforward leading man in other stuff.
Yeah, in fact he was kind of a leading man. I mean, at the time he was doing this, so he was shooting this by day. And he was playing Shakespeare at night, so he was doing A Winter's Tale in the evening. So he was working consistently, you know, particularly throughout the 60s and 70s. He was, you know, really was in demand.
Yeah, but, well, a lot of them were straight actors as well, and it is kind of sad when you hear the truth that some of the actors were kind of like thought the Carry On series were beneath them, even though they were probably the only gigs that were paying their rent at the time. I mean,
that's right. Yeah,
was definitely. He definitely had real bad depression over his career. The fact that he was more well known for his camp sort of buffooning Carry On movies more than his actual acting work. And it's a shame because he's got great comic timing and he's very funny and
fantastic comedy actor.
Yeah, and plus the fact that he was a kind of a closet homosexual at the time as well didn't really help him either.
No.
But this was also a very odd one out of. And I say this is the odd one out of the Carry On series because this was originally going to have Sid James in the role of Sidney Bung, but then they got Harry H. Corbett, who was already doing well with Steptoe and Son, and he was also a very straightforward, accomplished actor. And but I think that's why it works because he plays the part with such he plays it with this kind of goofiness, but he does it with this sort of accomplished sort of composure as well.
Yeah, I mean, Harry H. Corbett really was. I mean, he was a great actor. He wasn't, you know, although we only know him really primarily, I suppose, from Steptoe and Son. Again, you know, this is a well-trained actor, a well-trained Shakespearean actor, and the same with Kenneth Williams. I mean, Kenneth Williams was also a very well-trained Shakespearean actor, and I think this is why both Harry H. Corbett and Kenneth Williams they didn't like to be typecast in anything that they were in, but then everything that they did subsequently after Harry H. Corbett after Steptoe and Kenneth Williams after, I think particularly the Hancock's Half Hour radio series.
With James, because he was kind of like a regular on that as well, wasn't he?
Yes, he was, and they although it was the only gigs that they were getting, you know, they were very accomplished actors. I mean, you have to remember that Kenneth Williams actually did work with Orson Welles on stage, So and Orson Welles absolutely adored him. So he wasn't just this this camp comic that did the occasional funny kind of nasally voices. He wasn't just that. There was so much more to him than that.
Oh yeah, I believe you. I believe you because it's. I think I might have seen him in some stuff as well from a long time, but I can't remember the name of it. But this is why you need straight actors for this kind of thing as well, because they kind of pull it. Because it's the seriousness that makes it funny.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, because the reacting how they're trying to make it as organic as possible, like the reactions to such absurdity that's going on.
Right.
So when was the first time? Absolutely. When was the first time you saw this, Luke?
I think I might have been 10. I don't know, because I'd first seen Carry On Spying on TV, and I remember seeing this was like the first time I saw Peggy Mitchell, really young, and just this really gorgeous woman as well, and it did make me laugh. And I thought, okay, and I found out there was more Carry On films out, and I started watching them, and some people were lending them to me. I was getting some myself, and obviously Carry On Screaming was one of the one has basically become one of my favorite of the Carry Ons, up there with Carry On Doctor and Carry On Up the Khyber.
Yeah. I mean, with me, I mean, these were the kind of movies that were on TV when I was a little kid. So I was kind of, by the time I'd moved abroad, I'd already seen, I don't know, at least maybe a dozen or so of these. And it was, I mean, we were talking last night, Rachel and I, after Toxic Stream. And
hey, Ron Mickelson, how you doing?
What I was saying was that the earlier Carry On films, like Carry On Sergeant and Constable and Nurse and Regardless, they were all sort of send-ups of British institutions, the NHS, the Army, the police, etc. Whereas when we got to Spying, that's when they really kind of dipped their toe into the exploitation, subgenre, really. Because we had Carry On Spying, which was an exploitation of all of the spy movies, particularly the James Bond movies, for obvious reasons. Because all of these were made at Pinewood Studios as well. So, and a few of the Bond technicians had worked on some of the Carry On films as well. So you had Spying, Carry On Spying, then you had Carry On Cowboy, I think, which was obviously an exploitation of the Western movies, and then you had this. And I think personally, this is one of a very, very small handful that really do stand out. I mean, this particularly, I think, for production value, it's outstanding. The sets are just amazing. The costumes are amazing.
I know it really does remind you of the Curse of Frankenstein from the Hammer horrors.
Yeah,
it really does.
But also I think it's the when you have Kenneth Williams' famous phrase in this, the frying tonight. I mean, he kind of almost does it like the "It's alive" line in Frankenstein. It's that kind of it's kind of delivered almost in a very, very, very similar way. And just for anybody out there that doesn't know anything about what the reference is to Frying Tonight, in the 50s, 60s, and 70s in the UK, outside every fish and chip shop, there would be a big chalkboard, and the proprietor of the fish and chip shop would put on the front "Frying Tonight," and it would be cod, haddock, place, etc., etc. That's where the reference comes in, Frying Tonight, just in case anyone out there doesn't know.
Well, that would be me who didn't know.
Yeah, even as a Brit, I kind of question that. I just thought it was a really good fucking line as well. It's and it is. It's done very well, and it's set up for a pretty hilariously grim payoff because yeah. Because even if you're doing a comedy horror, I mean, you can't. This kind of got to be this grimness to it, and it does end on a pretty grim note for one character as well. Who pretty much doesn't deserve it.
But
we'll get to that
just
later.
Makes the comedy even better.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's kind of like Tales of the Crypt, where everyone has these like really grim endings, but you kind of get why, because it's like the fault of mankind. People sort of allowing their flaws to defeat them in a way.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, we'll waste no more time, and let's jump straight into Carry On Screaming. And it does start off very different as well, because usually in the Carry On movies you would get these like little illustrated stills with the credits rolling, but here it's shot in these sort of like very creepy looking woods as well. You know, like there's plenty of harsh shadows with the leaves are very silhouetted, and then you get this really sort of like cheesy sort of creepy 60s pop song playing as well by Boz Burrell, I think, was it? Or was it? No, Ray Pilgrim. Boz Burrell released a single version of this, and Ray Pilgrim did the singing for this movie.
But these woods, funny enough, this is Black Park. Black Park being familiar to every single Bond fan, where, you know, most of the James Bond movies at one time or other, and also the Hammer horror movies at one time or other, were filmed. So all of the Goldfinger stuff in the woods, you know, all that's in Black Park, and it's literally just adjacent to Pinewood Studios. So you go past the water tank at Pinewood Studios, and there's a little path just past the back lot, a little car park. Go down this path, and you're in Black Park. That's where everything was filmed, including the 2010 Wolfman as well.
Yeah, I kind of wondered that, but they kind of like shoot it very tight, so you don't always notice, do you? But now you mentioned it, I'm like, oh yeah, that is the bit in Goldfinger where he's sitting around waiting to sort of enter Goldfinger's headquarters, and
that's right.
And it's very good as well. It's got a good creepy beginning, but you've still got this sort of ridiculous double entendres there as well. It's like,
oh my god!
I mean, I saw funny. It's like I had this like funny noise, like panting. It's like, I can't help the way I feel about you, darling. So Jim Dale's character is basically sort of like trying to get lucky with Angela Douglas, but she's not having it as well, because she's hearing all this stuff, hearing all these like screaming as well, and he's starting to get very frustrated with it as well. And it's like, listen, we're not going to get anywhere if you keep carry on like this. And I do like the fact that she does kind of lighten up a little bit, saying, "Oh, I didn't know you think that way about it." It's like, well, you better start thinking that, love. But once again, it looks like they're about to get lucky. She screams right in his fucking ear, and he's like, that must have been real as well. Like, I mean, she must have fucking best his eardrums doing that, because he looks really pissed off here.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's not acting right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, there is someone in the bushes. Could you check? And it's like, okay, anyone there? No. Now let's get back to some nookie. It's like, oh, you don't expect them to tell you, do you? So once again, you got Jim Dale sort of playing the bumbling sort of idiot, because he's this 60s heartthrob. He's this very good looking guy, you know. So let's make him a bit of an idiot to sort of like lessen that a little bit. But obviously, she does persist in him checking it out. So it's like, all right. And even when he tries to be all tough and strong, he's like, you better not be stalking us around out there, you know. There'll be trouble. But then this fucking weird creature, this we found out later is called Oddbod. He goes to grab her, and she can't scream. It's like she's done all this screaming, but now she finally sees what's been making her feel uneasy, and she can't get it out, which I thought was really clever. So it's like, oh, there's nothing, but then, oh my god, she's disappeared, and he finds her finger, and he's like, what the fuck? And he just bolts it out of there. So we cut to yeah. So we cut to him reporting the crime with Peter Butterworth's character Slowbottom, and you know, even though this probably would have been more convincing with a younger guy because he's a new cop, Butterworth still does it well. He still does the bumbling sort of simple cop who's obviously not the quickest, the sharpest knife in the drawer, knife in the drawer, but still very loyal. And so of course he rings up Sidney Bung, played by Harry H. Corbett, and Oh god, mate, the fucking animosity these two have
Yeah.
towards each other is just
Yeah.
hilarious. It really is, you know. And it does give a little bit of historical context as well to when phones were started coming around. Like she hates it because it's constantly waking her up all the time because he's a policeman, he's on the job, he has to, you know, he's like there's no organized shifts for him, you know. And Slowbottom describes everything. Oh, another girl's gone missing. You know, and he goes into great detail describing her. And obviously, Harry H. Corbett is having to remind him constantly that don't worry, you wasn't interrupting us. We weren't doing anything, which is another great line that comes back. And once again, we get a lot of misunderstandings as well. I'm here with her boyfriend, played by Jim Dale. He's got short brown hair, very tall, beady eyes. It's like, listen, I'll bloody see for my fucking self. All right, you just stay there. So you're already getting a hint of their partnership as well. He's an accomplished police officer, but he's got this bumbling fool for an assistant, and
I think that's probably why he's still a constable.
Yeah,
because he is such a bumbling fool at that age.
Yeah, I think you can sort of like, who knows? He might have been transferred, whatever. It's you don't really know, but you just know it's fucking funny, and you get the relationship straight away. And I must
admit, I do like I do like the relationship between Sidney Bung and his wife.
Oh yes.
I just think it's absolutely terrific. I mean, Joan Sims, apparently she was never too pleased about playing the hag all the time. This kind of fishwife Harrodin type of character. Every movie, she was always disappointed because she, as a younger woman, if you've ever seen her as a younger woman, she was a real beauty. She really was. And as time went on, sadly, she kept getting these sort of hag kind of roles in these movies. But she was a lovely lady as well, by all accounts.
She seemed it. I mean,
yeah, very soft, a very, very soft lady. Yeah, very softly spoken and very, very well spoken, and again, a very well accomplished actress.
I know she's been in a lot of
It
stuff.
just adds to her.
Yeah. But she does it really well here as well. I mean, some of the stuff she says as well, it just gives so much great context into the relationship as well. Is like, don't like, because he's always on the job, he's never there, and she's getting pissed off with the phone always ringing and never getting any sleep, and he's getting fed up of her nagging as well. And you get some really good biting barbs there towards each other, and he's like, never marry a policeman, he said. You can't trust them, he says. And he's like mouthing her words as well because she's had it all the time.
Yeah.
And the fact that he says, when she says that, why haven't you taken me out in a long time? It's like, well, I took you out a couple of months ago. Had a lovely time. It's like, you call that lovely? To my sweet mother's funeral? Well, I enjoyed it. Do come many things. How you doing, man? Okay, yeah, just step aside away from the alarm you set using Red Dwarf Gunman of the Apocalypse. Yeah, if you know what, if you want to come onto the Red Dwarf stream, let me know. I'll have a look. See if you're on Facebook or X. So yeah, much love to all the weirdies in chat, to all our bastard. Yeah, you're so fucking kind, Ron Michelson. Yeah, so Angelus Douglas was hot. Just saying, yeah, she was. Oh yeah, fucking hell. They had some really good looking women in these Carry On movies as well.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, oddball best character ever. Yeah, we love him. Okay, so Jim Dale did Barnum on stage before Michael Crawford did. Well, yeah, because a lot of these were, because if you look past the Carry On stuff, these are very accomplished actors.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Yeah, and of course Jim Dale, he was very much in the Michael Crawford mode because he would do an awful lot of his own stunts. A very, very physical actor, very good physical actor.
Yeah, fucking hell, I didn't know about that. Oh yeah, and they used some of the same sets in the Rocky Horror Show and the Hammer House of Horror. I would not be surprised about the last one either because some of this stuff looks like it was kind of taken from the old horror movies from the 50s as well, like The Curse of Frankenstein, which we just mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There were a couple of sets that were reappropriated for this movie. At this particular point in in The Life of Pinewood, they did have what's known as a scene dock, which would be an area where bits of scenery, once the set was struck, so they would dismantle the set rather than doing what they do now, which is just basically, destroy the thing. They'll put everything through a wood chipper and that'll be it. But what they used to do was they used to store certain parts of sets and put them in the scene dock, and they would occasionally be reappropriated for different movies. I'm not sure whether that would be for Hammer Films, because they were solely based at Bray Studios, and this was Pinewood. It's entirely possible, but yeah, it is. Yeah, it's very, very possible. Quite likely, I should imagine that's
Yeah, you don't think they
absolutely
might
true.
have just borrowed some stuff from other studios to use for this? Do you think?
It doesn't necessarily work that way, unfortunately, because you have a
Uh,
production designer who would design the sets, and what they would do, they'd go through the scene doc to see whether there was anything that they could reappropriate that would fit in their sets. So the sets that they'd already designed. So they would only sort of snatch walls, if you like, because they would only be single walls. So they would only snatch these walls, and only if they would fit in with their own personal designs, and redress and reappropriate them, because they never ever left them standing.
yeah, so kind of a shame as well because it would save a lot of money as well because
Mm,
these are sort of like basic old school 19 sort of tens, probably the post Victoria era
yeah,
sets
yeah,
as well, which could be used for any kind of period
yeah,
movie that was set
yeah.
during that time.
That's right. That's absolutely right. And it's a shame that they did away with the scene doc. The scene doc was a great resource for production designers and art directors to go in and, like I say, reappropriate these pieces of set from other movies and TV shows. Such a great idea. But now it's such an incredibly wasteful business.
It really
Yeah,
is
it is as well.
sad
It is.
to think about all these beautiful sets that are being built, all the work that goes
Yeah,
into them, and then they just completely destroy them because,
yeah,
oh, we're never going to need any of this again, or oh,
mm,
we have the budget on the next project.
yeah.
Don't do that.
I mean,
Save it.
it was something that I did for a while. I used to, if I was over at the studio and something was coming to an end, I'd go into the production office and say, "Look, there's a small production that needs a couple of sets. Is it okay if we strike your set? We won't charge you for striking your set. We'll just, strip it down, take the pieces of set away, and that would be reappropriated for a lower budget movie." So it's something that I was doing, and I'm talking back in the mid 90s. So I was reappropriating sets from loads of different TV shows and movies for smaller productions, in order to reduce their budgets. But there's a fantastic studio in Bristol called Bottle Yard Studios. Now, I mean, this is what they do now. They don't throw anything away. They repurpose everything, and I think it's an incredible way of allowing lower budget productions
I know it's.
to create their works. Yeah,
I know because one thing I love about low budgets is just how resourceful they can be and still achieve so much more than a big budgeted movie that just throws money at the screen but
yeah,
offers no substance.
yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
look at this. Look at these sets. They look real. They look very real at the time as well. That
Mm,
I mean, it's just amazing as well. It just adds to the atmosphere and the feel to it as well. And
mm,
obviously, he moves on from his wife, and we get this little sort of like running joke where she hits the bedpan, and the frame of her mother
mm,
falls down as well.
yeah.
And once again, he shows just how in charge he is with this scene as well. You're in my seat again, slow bottom is like just keeping it warm for you, sir. And the way he conducts himself as well, just plays it dead serious, just sort of like proper deadpan, even though he's
Yeah,
giving all these ridiculous lines. So,
yeah,
so obviously he knows about. So obviously he's now questioning him, to find out any information he can during the investigation. And he's like, "So what happens?" "Well, we went into the woods to get a bit of fresh air and that." And he's like, "Bit of fresh air and that." And because he's told slow bottom to actually write every single thing that they say, he's like, he's probably taking it way too literally. He's like, "Well, what's that?" "Well, same as the other." What's So how far did you get? He's like, "Oh, not that far. I've only known her a year." "No, I don't put that down." And yeah, once again, the misunderstandings. Yeah, people taking things way too fucking literally as well. You know, little expressions there. So how far did you get into the woods? It's like, no, not that far. Just by a very clear airway.
Yeah, it's very to a degree very kind of English music hall or if you like American vaudeville.
I know. Yeah, I love how but yeah, it's just this great writing, this great sort of snappy writing, and it's like you know, have you been taking that down? It's like, oh, I haven't got that far. I don't know it yet. No, I'm talking to my assistant here.
The funny thing is, it's funny you talk about the writing of this. It was Talbot Rothwell who'd written this. I believe he'd written this a few years prior, and he hadn't written it as a carry-on film. They were looking for a movie that was going to come straight after Carry On Cowboy, and Talbot Rothwell had said, you know, well, I got this script. Maybe we could turn this into a carry-on film. And they did a few little tweaks and everything, and turned it into a carry-on film. It was just meant to be a pastiche or parody of Hammer.
I know, and it really does look like it as well. It's because it's got the look and the feel, and it's got some very good actors to pull it off. So yeah, and John Pertwee's in this as well. The Fair Doctor, we'll get to him later. A very good cameo as well. So yeah, the props start appearing in Space 1999, Doctor Who, Carry On, Red Dwarf, Galloping Galaxy, and so on. Oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised, because it seems like this is back in a time where studios were a little bit more resourceful. So yeah, Jim Dale's character sort of like hands them a bit of evidence to that they could go on, and they actually had the fucking goal to ask him if it's one of theirs. It's like, what sort of bed do you think I'm going out with? So obviously the next plan of action is to search the area of the woods where the first lost her, and once again he's like, Slow Bottom is just fucking great, just so endearing. He's like, I need you to cover all the area of the woods, and it's like, I can't do this all by myself, and you know, excuses, always excuses, which is another nice little callback, because occasionally Harriet Corbett would get these lines where he would say promises, always promises, because he definitely get hints that he's been suffering 24 hours with either his nagging wife giving him shit, or his bumbling assistants or whatever. It's kind of just making his job a lot harder.
Yeah, I mean, he's totally exasperated, isn't he? I think he's just completely unhappy with his lot. Full stop.
I know. I mean, even when it's like a few sharp blasts, it's like he assumes he's going to say, "Okay, blast, blast, blast." No, I mean on my whistle. So of course he tries to cover the area, but Square Bottom comes across Oddboard, and just faints. Which is not the first time this happens. So yeah. Hey, Box Office Brawler, how are you doing, man? Oh, I need to get one.
Hey.
Yeah, obviously Inside Man as well.
Terrific, terrific guy. Great.
I know you had the fucking drinker on as well. I mean, good one, man. I don't know what scotch you bribed him with, but I'm gonna have to get some myself. So,
it was the good stuff.
On you as well one day. So moving on, Oddbod destroys the fucking car. I mean, and they later find Slow Bottom as well, and he starts describing him, and he really does. He's really playing this very well. He actually does come across as a guy who's just seen something incredibly just not normal, something that he can't comprehend. So obviously they move on, and then they have to sort of like search the area. And so what's this area? Avery Avenue. And Harry H. Corbett, a fucking trooper, he goes, "We must explore Avery Avenue." So this leads them to a very cool looking gothic, eerie looking mansion called Bardawee Home.
Yeah.
And I love the look of this as well. It looks very old school as well. It's got the nice. I love this joke as well. They go to ring the doorbell. It pulls out a fucking note that says, "Please knock."
Yeah. I must admit, I do like the name of the mansion. I mean, this again, it was one of these things where around the UK, you know, people were calling their houses just their houses on their street, you know, ridiculous names like, you know, Dun Roaming and the Lodge and things like that, rather than having the numbers. This
Mm.
aspiration of middle class snobbery that everybody seemed to have had at that period, but I love the name. I mean, and for anyone who doesn't know what Bide-a-wee means out there, any of our American cousins, it means wait a while. That's all it means, Bide-a-wee.
Yeah, I wonder if yeah, wait a while we come back from the dead. I don't know if that's
Yeah,
the
yeah, I think that's it. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, this is where it does start to, and it escalates pretty quickly as well with the weirdness. And yeah, so they knock on the door, and then out comes this butler, this very sort of like gormless-looking butler, played by Bernard Breslow, who was proper the key guy to go to if you wanted the really big.
yeah, he was.
Yeah, because he played different roles. Sometimes he played the gentle giant, he played
Yeah.
the nutcase. He would be this big foreign warrior, you know, in blackface or brownface, which
Yeah.
you could never get away with anymore. But
Yeah.
gotta love
Again,
So
yeah,
inappropriate.
Breslow was awesome.
again, a Shakespearean actor.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
A very accomplished Shakespearean actor. I mean, I remember when he did Midsummer Night's Dream in Hyde Park, and it was shortly after he did that. Unfortunately, he passed away. But what a lovely man. I mean, everybody refers to him as the gentle giant. But yeah, he was a mere 6'7", I believe.
yeah, he came across
so
that way as
short.
well. Yeah,
Yeah, he's actually the same height as one of my sons.
Crazy,
Good
man.
grief.
I think there was going to do another Carry On movie about 20 years ago called Carry On London, and it was going to have
That's right.
Shane Ritchie, but so far
Yeah.
it must have been fucking cancelled.
Yeah,
Oh, what a shame.
it was
Mm.
promoted, and you know, you had all these actors that unfortunately none of them I think by this time most of them had actually passed anyway, and it
Yeah, I mean,
wouldn't have been
yeah,
the same.
because the final one, Carry On Columbus, wasn't really that great. I mean, Jim Dale was like the only surviving one, and he was already
Yeah.
starting to age out a bit. But he's
Yeah,
still going. Though.
yeah.
He's still going. He's like in his early 90s though, but he has not fucking changed a bit.
No, not at all. Not at all. And you know, I suppose for younger people would probably know him from doing a lot of the voices on the Harry Potter DVD extras, as well as
Okay.
some of the Harry Potter games as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of them just popped up who was saying it was on Pete's Dragon as well. I need to watch that again. 'Cause it's
Yes.
been a long time.
Oh, he's so good in Pete's Dragon.
I'm gonna have to see if the wife can get it up on Disney Plus. But yeah, and
Yeah,
but I like how the fact that this does actually feel very creepy, and it's like we wish to see the
Mm.
master of the house, but he's been dead for 15 years. But if you come inside, he will be with you shortly. And the look on Harry H. Corbett's face as well is like, yeah, okay then. It's like,
Right.
Yeah.
I thought you said he was dead, so he is. Well, that'll be a conversation worth having. And he has this little laugh as well before he goes in, because
Yeah.
how can you react to that? How can we react to a guy saying the owner is fucking dead, but he'll be with you shortly?
But
Already know-
he does kind of play this like slightly like Harold Steptoe, doesn't he? In
Yeah, he
part.
does. Yeah, I see a little bit. He's got a little bit of the Harold Steptoe laugh. You know, you got to get away.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you dirty old man.
It's a great shot. It
Yeah,
really is Steptoe.
Brilliant, brilliant. Yeah.
Harold. In fact,
Aaron.
yeah, now you mention it. The actual Steptoe and Son theme tune does play a couple of times in the
It
movie.
does, yeah, as a
Yeah.
little leitmotif in the music, and so does you probably won't recognize this, Luke.
Carry On Again, Doctor, as well. They did that and all. With,
there was that's right, when Wilfred Bramble was in the episode, wasn't it? When he was in the A&E department.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right. But in this they also play. There was a TV series called Z Cars, a long-running TV series called Z Cars, and it was when they first started, they used to go out live, and it was a police sort of procedural drama, if you like. Excuse me. And they played the theme to Z Cars in it as well. It's as the car's kind of going off, you hear this, du, 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 and that was the theme to Z Cars. But yeah, it's quite a smart little thing they did. Yeah.
I know. I'm willing to check it out as well because it was kind of one of those police shows. Was it kind of like a more grittier version of the Sweeney? I've seen the Sweeney. Sweeney was fucking brilliant.
It definitely was the precursor to the Sweeney. It was set up north. I mean, you had some fantastic actors in it. I mean, Brian Blessed was in it. He was a constant in it, and that's when they were doing the live episodes. In fact, Angela Douglas, who happened to appear in Z Cars, she actually played Brian Blessed's girlfriend in Z Cars. So there was a little reference for her, I suppose, with Z Cars as well.
All right. I think Duke of many things you said. Fenella Fielding reused an Addams Family joke. Do you mind if I smoke? Yeah, because it's on Amazon, and me and the wife have been watching them, and I thought, oh my god, did Carry On Screaming kind of rip that joke off a little bit there, or pay homage to it? But we'll come back to it later. But this is where they start to be suspicious of a picture on the wall because the eyes seem to move, and this is where we're introduced to Valeria, played by the gorgeous Fenella Fielding.
Oh my
God, man, Jesus Christ! She almost steals every fucking scene in this. She is so charming. She's so seductive.
I was going to say smoking.
Yeah, literally.
Literally smoking hot. And but again, another well accomplished Shakespearean actress. You know, she was very, very good. You know, I believe her parents were Romanian or something. And they lived in London, and she started life as you know, in a ballet school, and then she obviously went on to acting, but she was a very hardworking, jobbing actress.
I can so buy the dancer thing because there is a very graceful way she moves across the room.
There is, yeah.
Yes.
Well, if you read her autobiography, which is actually called "Do You Mind If I Smoke?" Yeah. She actually says that the reason for her graceful movements in this movie was that the dresses were so tight. If she were to move slightly awkwardly, the dresses would split. So that's why she moves so gracefully in the movie. So I'm glad you brought that up, actually.
Yeah, and the fact she wore that red dress a lot as well. Like she barely changed out of it when unless she needed something like that. Unless she needed to. I'm trying to get the trivia back on again. Where's it gone?
Absolutely iconic dress, iconic. Because I believe that what the costume designer did, that what they were going to do was cut out a sort of a diamond shape in the midriff. So they were going to show her midriff and her belly button.
Usually I usually wouldn't object to that, but here I think it's suitable that it is a very good long dress as well.
Yeah.
It really adds to that vampy look.
Yeah. They did kind of replace it with a piece of sort of lacy, sort of meshy lace and everything. But then the costume designer, you know, she said, you know, I think I'm going to replace that actually. So she put it back. She sewed the diamond back. So if you look very, very carefully at her tummy, you'll be able to see the outline of a diamond-shaped piece of fabric that's been sewn back.
Yeah, and apparently there was only one red dress, and she always wore this. There was no replacements or anything like that. Was there? I know. So obviously she's wondering why is the police officer in the house, and it's like, well, they reached the studio, the master, and she's like, but my brother is dead. It's like, yes, I told them that. But why they're still here? It's like, well, I forgot myself and told them they would see them, and he kind of quivers, saying, "You won't send me back there, will you?" You always kind of feel sorry for him a little bit, but
yes. But then you don't.
Yeah. No, you kind of admire him a bit more as well. She's like, well, I should do if only was
so damn attractive.
Yeah.
Oh, this killed me.
But
Yeah,
but-
I think Naked Gun 3 kind of borrowed this as well. I would not be surprised. But then I think that's an old trope anyway, though. Like someone very attractive kisses you, and you're such smitten by them, your toes
curl
curl
up,
up.
yeah.
Yeah,
But what an incredible voice she had.
yeah, that smoky brown
Oh
voice.
Yeah.
I mean,
goodness me! I mean, it was so unique. I mean, really, genuinely unique. There's nobody sounded like Fenella Fielding.
I know, bloody, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she must have been one hell of a bloody sex pot back in the day, though. I mean, especially
My
with that.
goodness me, yeah.
Once again, these sets look incredible. You got the concrete sort of like bricks in the labs and all the, smoking chemicals in jars, everything. The
All the
electrical,
tropey stuff, yeah.
yeah.
Brilliant.
And the fact that it's revealed to be Kenneth Williams as the dead brother just makes it funnier as well, because if you've seen them before you saw this, you're already familiar with Kenneth Williams and the characters he always plays. So of course she resurrects him. He's asking, "What time is it?" And it's like, "December." It's like, "Oh, I'm supposed to be woken up past June. I'm no longer reinvigorated yet." But they have no choice. The butler told them they had to go see that the master was going to see them, so they've kind of got to keep up appearances, don't they?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but once again, you get a little bit of sense of the relationship as well, because you found out the more you progress with the movie, you find out that Vanilla Scales' character, Valeria, is kind of more straight to business and professional, while he's always trying to find a way to make his job a bit more fun. He's kind of like a bit of a kid in a way with this kind of stuff.
Yeah. These were originally written as father and daughter. But Gerald Thomas had insisted, it's not going to work if they were father and daughter.
Yeah, because I mean, you kind of, because they kind of feel like he's the young. I always kind of get the impression that Kenneth Williams is the younger brother here a little bit, in a way, or she's the one who has to sort of be a bit more of a grown up, be a bit more responsible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very much the impetuous younger brother.
Yeah, she also turns out to be a bit more of a businesswoman as well. When we found out later, when they get Peter Butterworth dressed as a woman. So,
Yes.
but I like how the fact that they treat their Oddbod like it's a little kid as well, and it's like, oh, Oddbod found a woman earlier, because basically she does mention that the police are here to talk about the woman that disappeared, and he's like, oh, Oddbod got a woman, did he? And they're kind of describing it like parents of a kid who's got his first girlfriend.
Yeah,
I kind of found it adorable. Oh. Yeah, and obviously they found out that he lost a finger, and as well, like, oh, I hope he didn't leave anywhere embarrassing.
Oh,
yeah.
my
The
goodness.
double entendres as well. I mean, grown-ups in the 60s will have gotten that, but obviously they had to be a bit safe to the senses. I think that's why this kind of humor wouldn't work that much today, because a lot of humor is a little bit more just kind of on the nose with the body humor now.
Yeah.
Especially when you've got South Park as well with the gross out humor.
Yeah. You see, I mean, this was strangely, even with the double entendre, with all of the Carry On films, they were still very child friendly up until the 70s Carry On movies. Now, these were much more sort of child friendly. So there was stuff in there for the grown ups that the kids just wouldn't get, but there was stuff in there for kids that would just be enough for them to, find them amusing.
Yeah, because I noticed in the, I think it was Carry On Behind. It's like, even though it's a PG on the video, there was a woman getting her fucking top off, and we saw some nips on that. I saw some nips. It was pretty. It was actually pretty explicit. I mean,
I wasn't keen on that one, and
it's not a good one. It's not really a good one.
Behind England and Emmanuel, dear oh dear, terrible.
Yeah, Emmanuel seemed to be the only one out of them that got 15 certificates, so that must have been a little bit more risky, for lack of a better term.
Terrible film. Terrible.
Yeah. So Kenneth Williams has to sort of take the sockets in as well, because he's not fully invigorated, so he has to, make do with what life source he has left in him. Yeah, and the fact he's called Dr. Watt just kind of leads to another good sort of misunderstanding with the banter. It's kind of like It's kind of like Naked Gun when they talk about the boxers, but they keep sort of mentioning, Mr. Connecticut from West Virginia, and he fought North Dakota from Canada.
See, this actually reminds me. Excuse me. This scene reminds me of the classic Abbott and Costello "Who's on First" routine that they did.
Oh yeah, who's on first? Who's on first? Yeah,
and I think it was kind of a riff on that. I mean, it's a fantastic little skit that they did. But yeah, I think this is kind of a slight sort of variation of that. Excuse my throat at the moment. I'm a little bit croaky. Excuse me.
I think it's getting that time of the year as well, where you start to feel a little bit throaty, a little bit nasally, a little bit snotty.
No, that unfortunately was I think too many cigarettes.
Probably so.
Yeah. Hey, I like the fact that Jim Dale has no knowledge about fucking ancient Egypt as well, and it's like it's just a mummy. He's like, mummy with a beard. Oh, I wasn't just women.
They pickled blokes as well, you know.
Yeah, pickled them. Like that. That's the term to use for them.
What was it? Rabatiti.
Yeah, yes. Well, I like the fact that he's actually wants to resurrect him as well, just to hear stories about all the fucking sexual orgies he's had.
Yeah.
He's kind of a bit of a lecture, Dr. Watt. He really is. Yeah, so obviously they get down to business, and we're just anxious to find to trace this woman's whereabouts. Oh, whereabouts? Hereabouts. At 10 o'clock, or thereabouts. In this vicinity, or roundabouts. We're police officers.
Or thereabouts.
Yeah.
Great. I mean, that's great. No, fantastic.
Yeah, they ask him his name, and he pretty much tells him it's Dr. Watt, and he's like, "Who, sir? What? What's his name? What's his name?" Yeah, who is my
Doctor Who? Doctor? No, that's my uncle. I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, just these kind of little fucking lines, just sort of like having these great actors just sort of go back and forth as well. The comic timing, everything.
Yeah,
they must have rehearsed this so many times to get this right because it's all about timing as well with comedy, and I think maybe a millisecond off it might have come across awkward. Who knows? But it's still very delivered really well by these actors.
And there's never a wasted opportunity. Every line carries into a joke, and just brilliant writing.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's feed line, punchline, and that's really what comedy is consistently throughout these. Anyway, I mean,
yeah, it doesn't drag as well. There's still progress with the plot. It still sort of like matches with the plot. I mean, they're finding out his name for information, but then it leads into a little joke because of a misunderstanding, which works consistently with the character. Yeah. So obviously they try and find out a little bit more about information, but then he starts to sort of like feel a bit weird, and I've just noticed as well on the rewatch, he starts to have these little twitches whenever they ask him questions. He's obviously nervous. He's not very good at hiding his deep dark secrets, is he? As well as his sister, who's pretty much good at using her charms, isn't she? To sort of like throw people. But then, but their investigation is interrupted when he starts to die, and he actually tells them, "Could you just plug this into the socket?" And he starts to disappear. And I just love how Sidney Bung is kind of treating this like normal. It's like, well, don't just stand there, plug it in.
Hurry, he's only on 5%.
And he gets up normal, just acts casual, like nothing happened. And Jim Dale and Peter Butterworth act like real people. They get the fuck out of there. And what does Sidney Bung do? Was like, well, the thing is, you was here, but then you was starting to, you was coming and going, and then what's the matter with you two? It's like, what do you think's the matter with him? A fucking guy just disappeared in front of your eyes. It's like, he's just an eccentric. That's all. Oh, I saw right through him, and it's like, yeah, that's us. So did we. That's the problem. And he's acting way too casual about this as well. It's like, what eccentric fucking disappears in front of your eyes? I mean, are you insane, man?
seen too much.
Yeah. But apparently he does get the picture, and they hear the scream. Fucking Jim Dale runs off, and just before Slowbottom does, Bung grabs him and says, "Listen, we are police officers. We are gonna walk away with dignity." And then the scream and just run off again. Oh man, this is so good. It's just so good because he plays him with such dignity, even when he's made to look a bit of a fool. And God, she is fucking horny. I mean, she even kisses Oddbod. She's got a thing for fucking yeah.
She's got strange taste in men. Let me tell you.
But I love the voice of Oddbod. You know, he doesn't really say much. He's just and oh yeah, and that's about it.
Yeah, and when you see Junior as well, he's like, it's like a puppy, isn't he, in a way? Because he's like, he's still new, he's still sort of young, and Oddbod is like kind of the older one.
Yeah.
And this is where they see the girl, and it's Angela Douglas's character, Doris Mann. Yeah, or that man Doris. And so he's come back and is like, "Listen, don't you start. I've just spent the entire night looking for another woman." And obviously she nags him a little bit more, and he's like, "I just saw a bloke disappear right in front of me, and I was wondering, why couldn't you do something useful like that?" Yeah, then he discovers that she's taken the phone off the wall, and he just starts having a fit, and is like, "What have you done?" And it's like, "You realised I'm on call? How am I supposed to be contacted by the police?" And she's like, "I don't give a shit. I want to get some sleep." And the fucking phone rings, and nearly scares her. And he does that laugh, doesn't he? You forgot to disconnect the wire.
Brilliant.
And once again, Slowbottom is like ringing him, and he's like, "Don't worry, we weren't doing anything."
Yeah.
And I've noticed a couple of times with his delivery as well, he seems really kind of sort of disheartened the first time he says that line, doesn't he? So like, "Don't worry, we weren't doing anything." Like he kind of wishes he was, but at the same time, he's probably glad he isn't. But
yeah. And now I think there you go.
There
John Pertwee is this really good sort of professor, and apparently this finger apparently belonged to some creature that died years ago, like fucking a long time.
Yeah, and he's going through the book, isn't it? Homo erectus, Homo
erectus.
Wrong kind of Homo. That's the wrong kind of Homo. But he is the second. John Pertwee is the second connection with Dog Soldiers, isn't he?
Yeah.
So obviously Sean Pertwee's father, but also Neil. What's his name? Neil Marshall had said that the werewolf transformation was a direct reference to the Jekyll and Hyde transformation in Carry On Screaming. He said that's what it was. It was an actual direct reference to Carry On Screaming. So we have two connections to Dog Soldiers. There you go.
And Nix has just sent me a link as well, so I don't know if career credits 1952 for Nellie Fielding. Oh, I don't know if it's a long video, so wait, is it something that you can read? Let's have a look. I'm just checking it out before I share it. Yeah, it's just a little. That's 51. You know, we will go to that soon. Okay, we'll go to that soon. So, sorry, where was you again, Inside Man? I do apologize.
Yeah, the two connections with Carry On Screaming between Carry On Screaming and Dog Soldiers. So, the werewolf transformation, which was a direct lift from Carry On Screaming. And obviously John Pertwee being Sean Pertwee's father.
And very good actors as well. I like both.
Yeah.
I'm very sad that Sean Pertwee never got to play Doctor as well. Because I think
oh my God, he would have been perfect. No. Perfect. He would have been great as the Doctor.
He would have been.
Yeah, I can sort of see him playing a bit more of Yeah, I think he would play a very good militant Doctor Who in a way. Sort of bring back the old
Yes.
Doctor Who that wasn't afraid to use guns occasionally.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Duke of Many Things. He said this before in my Smashing Machine stream as well. Apparently, dancers get more injuries than wrestlers. So I don't know if
Yeah.
I'd love people to sort of like clarify that as well, because probably is maybe, but I'm not really well read on that just yet, to be honest. Especially dancers in the exotic arts. Strippers.
Yeah.
The friction burns alone.
Yeah, the friction burns alone.
Oh yeah, getting bullet holes, cigarette lighters. Yeah, exotic dancers get it worse. They do. So let's So obviously Sydney Bung is like, well, this came off of something that was alive, and it's like, well, I could run the current through it just to see if there is something still alive about this thing. Yeah, that's. And obviously, it looks like they may have another lead onto the missing girls case. So they got nut sorts to meet them at this this sort of like toilet place, this sort of bathhouse, whatever. And obviously not in shots. They're being followed by Dr. Watt and Valeria. And Charles Hawtrey, another carry-on legend as well. And he plays a very good, funny character who pretty much adds nothing, but that kind of is the point. Yeah. That is the joke. It looks like he's going to be the one to sort of like help him with the investigation, but it kind of goes nowhere because, he stops before he has a chance to help.
Yeah, Dan, isn't it?
Yeah.
The gardening man.
Yeah. It's like, so are you the guy who knows thing about Doris? It's like, yeah, it'll cost you a bit. And Slowbottom kind of gets a little bit up his own ass as well. He starts leaping in and say, well, I've none of that. I'm a police officer. I should be forced to take down anything you say. And it's like, okay, trousers. Gotta love Peter Butterworth in this. He's I always found him a little bit underrated as well. He kind of had this little innocence to him as well.
Yeah,
which makes
he's a lovely actor. Lovely actor.
Yeah, but obviously Sydney Bung calms things down. He's like, listen, we just want to find out what's going on. That's all. And he's like, okay, well, go back in there and I'll tell you everything you need to know. And even though he doesn't really do much to the plot because he gets killed before he has a chance to, he is still very endearing. He's just got that sort of like that kind of charm to him in a way.
Apparently, Charles Hawtrey was rather drunk while he was doing this.
I won't be surprised, to be honest.
Oh, hello.
He was a very camp one as well, but because he was another very camp one as well. He could also convey this innocence on screen when he needed to as well.
Yeah.
But like, every time he's like trying to give information, he keeps getting fucking sidetracked, and Sydney Bung just keeps getting infuriated more and more. It's like every time he walks past, he gets sidetracked. I was like, oh, I know that person, I do. And he seems to forget what he's supposed to be doing, but then he sees a stranger going across, and his Oddbon is like, he's interrupted. And look at Sydney Bung. He's just like, for fuck's sake, can we just get on with this, please? But too late. The guy who has the information to help gets killed, which is kind of another trope in horror movies, which always works. But then they hear some commotion, and they go to investigate. And they all try to bang them through. They try to break the door open, but he's like, listen, stand back. And he just pulls out a coin and just inserts it. That's it.
Yeah. Don't look.
Yeah.
I told you not to look.
Yeah. And John Pertwee, he bites the fucking dog, and Junior comes to life, and and it's straight after as well. I mean, you don't see what's happened, but you know he's probably died a pretty gruesome death here.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the body's all like limp and jelly, like, which is realistic. I mean, that's what happens. The body just kind of goes like jelly when it dies. So don't look. He looks and faints. I was like, looked. Once again, I think we're like halfway through the movie, and already like no time is wasted. It just gets on with it. It doesn't feel rushed. It's
gets straight on with it.
yeah, it's well pierced, everything, and now we've found out what's happened to the girls. They're turned into these wax models.
Again, another, very, very well trodden horror trope as well, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It kind of goes back to the House of Wax with Vincent.
Yeah,
Price.
exactly.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, it's a shame we had to turn her into a mannequin. It's like, well, if she lived, she would have turned old and fat. But here she can stay young and beautiful forever. It's like, yeah, but not quite as fun. It's like, you've got a funny little fucker, aren't you? Yeah, and this is real creepy as well, the way he just goes, excuse me, dear, before throwing the hair on her face. There's something very menacing about that for some reason. I don't know why. So yeah, obviously he's sending him out to go to load up the crates. And then Junior comes in as like, and yeah, they think it's odd bod, but they're like, what the? Oh my God, get some clothes on. You're disgusting. But then Valeria just notices it's not Oddbod, it's his finger, and it kind of worries them as well, because like someone outside of their lab has managed to bring this thing back to life through his finger, and I like the fact that Dr. Watt is kind of panicking as well. He feels like the walls are starting to close around him a little bit as well. He's got police sniffing around, and but Valeria, she's the professional. She manages to keep a nice cool head.
Yeah, she does. Yeah. It's kind of like The Thing, isn't it? When you think about it, his finger turns into another creature.
Yeah, no, it's like
or should we call it the Thing? The Thing, not the Thing. The Thing. Yeah. Sorry about that. Oh,
You just
terrible.
you had
Sorry.
to.
Yeah,
Terrible.
Oh yeah. So obviously, Bung approaches the house, and this time he's greeted by Valeria, and
Wow, she looks amazing.
Yeah,
Look at her there.
she does. I mean, look
Oh
at her.
my God.
She knows that she can work him. She does. The pure confidence she displays on the screen. I mean, God, man. Yeah. So, so obviously he's trying to be professional and conduct his business in a very personal manner, but you can tell he's just smitten by her, and you can't blame him. You really can't. He's just
Look on his face.
I know. It's like you can't blame him. You can't blame him.
Yeah. I mean, I had such a massive crush on her when I was a little kid. I really had a crush on her. Really did.
I know. It's just the way she does as well. I mean, she appeals to his ego. She likes the sound of his name and do like bang, bang, bang. She's so playful as well. I mean, she's very likable as well. You don't hate her. You want her to be manipulative and conniving. She's like, because she's so fucking damn charming while doing it. And obviously, we got a bit of a fellatio joke there. You don't mind if I give it a blow?
Just a little piece of trivia about her ring, by the way, and I'm talking about the ring on her finger, by the way.
Yeah.
She wanted to have some sort of ruby jewelry, and unfortunately the wardrobe department didn't have the budget for it, so they said, you can wear a nice ruby ring if you like, but you're going to have to go out and buy it yourself. So she went out and bought this ruby ring, this huge sort of ruby on it, which cost her £9. And she wore it all the way through, and she had it till her dying day. And it was worth thousands. It cost her £9, and mainly its value. Its intrinsic value wasn't quite so much, but it was worth thousands because of its connection with this movie.
Yeah. I'm just going on the chats here as well, because we're getting a lot coming in at the moment as well. I've got some good ones. A very sad one from Mr. E about everything he owns disappearing right in front of me. Disappearing, I can relate. I saw half of what I own just disappear right in front of me and my lawyer. Lovely.
Oh.
Yeah, sounds like advanced witchcraft, Mr. E. Good riddance, I say. Yeah, and I just love this little line he says as well about I am here strictly on business, and And Valeria's like, well, get on with it. I haven't got all day. And yeah, come on, this is the money shot for Valeria as well. Just the way
Yeah.
she just sort of slinks onto
Yes.
that sofa.
And again, the way she slid onto that sofa, that wasn't deliberate. It was, or rather, it was deliberate. It was because of the dress, you know. And she does mention this in the autobiography, her memoir.
And I mean, she had a bit of a sad end as well in real life. That she kind of became broke when she got older, and I don't
Yeah,
know if
well,
that's
yeah, that's absolutely true. So what happened was that she put her faith in an agent that she had for many, many years, and it wasn't until that she did something at the Edinburgh Festival, I think, and it was quite late on in her career, that um, she she started questioning a couple of things with her agent, and her agent was reluctant to give her any information about her accounts. And it turned out that her agent had ripped off more or less every penny that she'd earned since she was a young woman, um,
oh,
which would have amounted to, you know, millions, and she didn't know. She
there's some
had
fucking
no
scumbag.
idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some scumbags in showbiz. There really is.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I
definitely.
mean,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what she was like in real life, but come on, no one fucking deserves that. I mean,
no.
she
I mean,
she
No.
worked her ass off.
she
She
did.
really did.
She worked all her life since she was very, very young. And yeah, she didn't deserve that. And like I say, by all accounts, you know, she was an absolutely adorable human being, really, utterly adorable.
Yeah, so have you met her then in real life?
I've not. I wish I had. I wish I had. I know people that have, but I haven't had the pleasure. I would have loved to have met her. I really would have loved to have met her.
Oh
But
man.
she did the voiceover on an animation. I think it was called Blue Cat. That's become a little bit of a had a little bit of a resurgence. So that's worth checking out.
I'll give that a go as well
Yeah.
because I mean she's had some impressive work, but I think this was one of her more well known roles as well, and it's very
Yes,
iconic
it is.
because
Yeah.
yes, just put a very smoking hot lady in some kind of a slinky vamp dress, you know,
Mm.
black hair, and she's going to be memorable. It does feel very much like oh, what's the name of the woman who used to introduce horror movies in the 50s? You know, she kind of had that
That was
same look.
Vampira.
Vampira.
Vampira, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Strangely enough, I passed on an audio book to Rachel that she's recently got through, and it's actually a biography by her niece. It's called Glamour Ghoul, and
Mm.
it's one of the most interesting biographies. I think Rachel will agree with this. One of the most interesting
Yes, it
biographies
is.
of quite an incredible woman. I mean, not just an incredible human being, but somebody that had the most fantastically amazing Hollywood life that you would not
Yeah.
even believe, you know, when you think of, you know, some of the things that she did in terms of, you know, the introduction of, you know, horror movies and everything, and you know, then being in the Ed Wood movie Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Hmm.
But there was so much more to her than this. But it's she there is a similarity, I think, between Valeria here and Vampira, and I tend to think that the Valeria is probably more based on Vampira than she is on Morticia Adams.
I wouldn't be
Um,
surprised because I wouldn't be
I
because I
agree.
think yeah, I think Letitia Adams probably came from Vampira a little bit as well, you know, because it is
Oh,
very
yeah.
similar, isn't it? You know, long jet black hair, slinky dress, a very sort of like graceful way they conduct themselves, you know.
Apparently not, because they were from a cartoon strip, weren't they? They were from a comic strip,
Oh yeah, yeah.
The
Adam's
Addams
family was
Family,
like
yeah, by Charles
originally,
Addams.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Now that
um,
makes sense now. So who knows? Maybe
yeah.
Vampira came from Morticia Adams. I don't know.
Do, does anyone know what sort of year the Addams Family TV show really started? I can't.
I
I
know it
can't.
was in the 60s, back when they were just still using black and white. Let's have a look anyway.
Yeah.
But Adam's Family, and yeah, boring trivia. The actor who plays Gomez is also Sean Astin's dad in real life. So
That's right. Yes. Yeah.
The Addams Family
And
premiered in 1964. So
1964. So this was 2 years
yeah,
after. Yeah. Yeah. So
mm,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
So it's entirely possible that some of the little bits and pieces that were in this movie were gleaned from the Addams Family. But yeah, I think she comes across as being more of a vampire sort of character in this.
yeah, I think so in a way. I mean, because
yeah.
I mean, Morticia Adams is more like a mother, isn't she? In a way, she's kind of like
Yeah.
a more dark version of
Yeah.
the nuclear
Yeah.
mum.
Yeah.
While
As
Valeria
visually
Fox,
beautiful as
yeah,
she is,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
she really is just a mother and wife.
Mm,
She's not
mm.
this sexual character. She
Yeah.
just looks the
Absolutely correct.
part.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Valeria is more of a seductress, isn't she?
Yeah. And
Yeah, definitely.
and Vampira, I think there's something about Vampira when she was doing her sort of movie introductions, her little pieces. If you look at some of those pieces of video or footage that still exist that were broadcast when her show was syndicated, she's very similar, is very much the seductress as well.
Yeah.
I have
So
to
yeah, I'm
say
just
it.
looking at
Elvira was much later.
Yeah, Elvira
Elvira
was
is
much
much
yeah,
later.
she
Yeah,
came around about 70s, 80s, wasn't it?
80s, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
80s. Yeah.
yeah. Because
She
one
was
thing I read
doing the
about,
same thing, but
Yeah.
yeah, and I
Vampira
think
was first.
I think Vampira got a bit pissed off saying she ripped off her act. Sorry about that. Do
Yeah.
apologize there. But I don't know. But then again, the Addams Family was first created in 1938, so I don't know if Vampira kind of sort of like was.
Yeah, I think so. I
Mm.
think so. I think there's and it was a strange time in Hollywood. In that period. But I would urge anybody who has an interest in horror, Hollywood, um, to go out and grab this book, whether it's on audiobook from Audible or from Amazon. It's called Glamour Ghoul. It's a fantastic book. It's one of the best biographies I think I've ever read.
I need to read more biographies. I mean, I don't think I've read a biography in a long
Mm.
time.
Yeah.
This is the one to jump on.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
was
it's terrific. Yeah.
excellent book.
Yeah.
And obviously, right here we get the "Do you mind if I smoke?" and it's like, "Not at all." And she starts smoking, and he just gets he's about to squirt water, and then eventually he just succumbs to her charms. And he's like, "Oh, he needs me trying to give it up," and he walks right into the smoke, and it's really good. It does feel like a horror in a way as well.
Yeah.
Like the innocent man has succumbed to the charms of the seductress who wishes to twist him. Cousin, Kenneth Williams, Welsh legend. Oh my! No, that's fucking.
That's Joseph. That's Kenneth Williams. That's Kenneth Williams if he happened to be on the bridge of the Enterprise. Yeah. Oh my!
Oh no!
Oh, matron.
Oh, matron. Yeah, no, brilliant. I loved Kenneth Williams. I really loved Kenneth Williams. I think particularly for me, it was. I mean, I'm a big fan of old comedy, whether it's old American comedy or old British comedy. I like silent movies. I like anything like Laurel and Hardy, but I like the American and British comedy of the 40s and 50s as well. But Kenneth Williams, for me, I think in Hancock's Half Hour was, that's where he really kind of showed his versatility in comedy for me, because he had two fantastic writers writing for him. The same two writers who wrote Hancock's Half Hour also wrote Steptoe and Son for Harry H. Corbett and Wilfred Brambell. That's my little lecture on British comedy. So
yeah. It also seems to be back at a time where comedians just had their demons in real life as well.
Like, that's right. Yeah, they did.
I think that's why it made them funny as well, because comedy, very sadly, does come from misery.
It does.
Like how we're, it's like our way of sort of dealing with the harshness of the world, you know, just by
Yeah.
laughing at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, both as I think we know, you know, both Kenneth Williams and Harry H. Corbett, they were very morose characters. You know, I think because they were unhappy with their lot of maybe the typecasting that they've had, and they felt that they were better than the parts that they were getting, and they undoubtedly were. There's no question of that. They're both far better than the roles that they bagged so frequently.
Well, and that's the thing as well, because I think actors do want to be challenged, and it doesn't really help when they're given the same roles. But I think, I don't know, if I was an actor, I'd be happy just to be given a role somewhere. And I don't know, maybe that's just me, you know.
I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. I think because, it's such a tough life being an actor. I know, we occasionally sort of talk about the A-listers, these poor, these poor rich people, and
Yeah.
the things that they complain about and moan about. But if you're a jobbing actor, of which there are many, many, many hundreds of thousands, in both this country and the United States, as well as everywhere else, these are people that are just trying to get a job. They're working from from week to week. They don't necessarily have a job. From month to month, they might not necessarily
I
have
know,
a
because
job.
acting's a hard job.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you always get these like waitresses or aspiring actors kind of cliche thing, because they're the jobs that are paying the rent, and acting is fucking
Yeah,
hard because you got to audition,
Yeah.
and
Really.
if you don't
yeah.
pass, you don't get the fucking job.
Well, there's the age-old thing, isn't it? So how much do you earn as an actress? Well, I earn enough to keep me in waitressing.
Yeah,
That's, I
Yeah.
think that's, it sounds like a cliche, but it's absolutely right on the money. That's what it's like for an actor, for
I
a
mean,
jobbing
even
actor.
I think Tim Roth was talking about like he didn't like doing auditions because he's bad at it. You know, it's like
Yeah,
I just so I don't know. I think he somehow manages to persuade people back in his early days to give him the role just without auditions. I
mm,
don't know how
mm.
that works, but apparently it does for him. But I think Joker Many Things has mentioned Chris Rimmer doing Kenneth Williams. I remember that it's from the outtakes as well in Red Dwarf. So let's put it up anyway. Anyways, let me get the screen shared. Bear with me a second. It'll stop the screen. Share screen. YouTube. Boom. And let's get it on.
Kenneth Williams does the Dirty Dozen. Oh, yes, now. My name is General Patton, Earle.
I love Chris Barry. I love Chris Barry.
He was one of the voices that we used for the when I was doing Spitting Image.
Yeah,
I
he
used to do
did
the
loads.
Spitting
Really,
Image.
he
Yeah,
did
he did
Ronald
loads of them.
Reagan,
Yeah,
everything. He's
yeah.
he was a very good impressionist. People
Very, very good. Very, very good. Yeah, incredibly talented actor.
Yeah, we just love him. We just love what a complete asshole Rimmer is. But at the same time, you gotta watch Red Dwarf Inside, man. I would love to get you on for season 2 review of it next month. I mean, it's an easy
okay.
binge. It's an easy binge. You can get through the first series in 3 hours, the second one in 3 hours. So you've got plenty of time as well if you want to jump on next month.
Okay, mate. Yeah, I'll do that. Well, I suppose it's far better than doing a 12 episode
Alien shit.
yeah.
Don't even talk about that.
Yeah, thanks for the new Zealand dollars, $2, RTNZ. I mean, greatly
RTNZ. He's a legend. This guy is an absolute legend. I mean, he's a fantastic guy to stream with, but even in the chat, and this is what amazes me. I'm sorry to sort of sidetrack slightly from Carry On Streaming. So once I've finished my little bit of babbling, we can carry on streaming. But sorry about that.
Yeah,
but this
is... I was going to use that joke earlier, then I forgot about it until you mentioned it. But this is earlier I was going to say, right, without wasting any time, let's carry on streaming. But, I forgot about it. And
I beat you to the punch.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, the opportunity for me to use it is gone. So,
but this is the thing about these streams, right? So we have some And I'm talking about regularly. These kinds of people that we have in the chat consistently. Um, I mean, their contribution to these streams is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Their interaction with us and the stream. Um, I mean, I'm not sure how much they would appreciate, um, or they understand how much we appreciate their contribution to these streams. But it's really quite something, and I love seeing these
It keeps
questions
it
and
going
these.
as well. I mean,
It
because
does. It
it
does.
always add
Every
information
single
that
one of
you
them.
don't know. I mean, it helps my ignorant ass
Yeah.
be more educated as well. So,
But it's I just think it's incredible that we have these people that are consistently regularly doing this, that are watching us just talking such nonsense all the time and just going off on tangents. And these people are so patient with us and so generous, I think, with their time for us. They really deserve something. I just think they're great. I mean, from RTNZ to Nix to Toxic to everybody, to Proctophile, um, to Blue Collar, everyone who
Yeah.
makes a contribution every single time, it's phenomenal. And I cannot tell you how incredibly grateful we are for you taking the time to watch all of us talking about these movies and talking such rubbish on most of the occasions that we come on here. It's fantastic. Your contributions are so well appreciated, and thank you so much.
I know, I mean, fucking admirable. I mean, I was in the green room when he was doing his downfall thing, and God,
Oh my
I
God!
was dying
Oh
laughing. I really
God.
was.
Oh my
Oh
God!
God, I was
He,
like, I
Uh,
thought I was going to have an heart attack. I was laughing so
so did
fucking.
I mean,
um,
genuinely, I mean, I said to Rachel after the stream, I was laughing that much I couldn't catch my breath. I thought I was gonna. I couldn't breathe in. I'd literally expelled
trying to kill us.
every cubic centimeter of oxygen in my lungs had gone, and I didn't have the power to
Oh my
breathe in
God.
anymore. Hilarious, absolutely hilarious.
He was dying. I was crying. It
Yeah,
was great.
yeah, it was brilliant. It was
The
brilliant.
Toxic must have been like, why the fuck did I bring this guy on?
He steals it every time. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
Oh, it was a great show, though. It really
yeah,
was.
terrific show, and hats off to Toxic. I mean,
Yeah, he handled it like
this
a
is a
champ.
case. Honestly, he's so slick in the way he does his streams. I think I don't think I think that he's competition for a lot of people, and I'm not sure how much he realizes that he is. I think he is serious competition for people because he's so good. I really do believe that. I think he's so slick, brilliant streamer.
Yeah, yeah, we do need to bring this type of comedy back as well next. Yeah, fucking hell. I'm hoping I can do a little bit more on the next stream, but occasionally, but we'll see what happens anyway. So moving on, obviously, Bung has just had the fucking night of his life, and he is happy as Larry. He's just happy as fuck here. And I'll get more to the chats later, but yeah, at the moment we'll just press on. We'll carry on streaming. Yeah, I shouldn't have used that. Time has passed. I thought I could use it again, but no.
Sorry.
No. And I love how he gets up as well. He's like, "Oh, sorry for stealing your seat," and he's like, "That's all right, slow bottom." Yeah. So, did you learn anything last night? Not off. And yeah, he's had the best night of his life. I mean, she must have been really fucking good.
Yeah.
Even Slowbomb's kind of worried. It's like, come on, something's up here. You can't be this happy. And he doesn't seem very preoccupied about doing his job as well because he's in such a happy mood, probably the happiest he's had in years. But unfortunately, work presses on. Jim Dale's character was pretty much smashed up the display window after finding that Doris's mannequin is the mannequin that is Doris Man herself. He's actually in display. And he seems to instinctively know that it is her, because why else would she go missing and suddenly have a mannequin of her in front of the store? It's like he knows something is going on. Obviously, Bung is very skeptical about it. He thinks he's just being paranoid. And he's like, all right, check if it's her. And he feels her, and she's like, well, she's all cold. He's like, well, so would you if you were stood in there all day with just your corsets on. But obviously, he's like, I have a way to prove that's I have a way to prove that's Doris. All right, she has a little birthmark in, and even though it doesn't say it, you know it's somewhere private. And he's like, oh yeah, how do you know? It's like, well, she told me. Well, go on then, investigate.
look.
And then he's like, go on, show it. Then he's like, well, in front of all these people. He's like, well, if some bloody idiot's going to do it, it's not going to be me. Then he points to Slowbottom. Obviously, poor Slowbottom has to do it. But then again, is it poor Slowbottom? Because he doesn't want to come across too much of a pervert as well, so he's all nervous. So, and he actually asks to ask, which one is it? It's like, listen, it's a simple point of elimination.
It's either there or it's not.
Yeah, I know. But then they found a clue, a little sticker that says "Made in England." Yeah, so obviously they get up to the work, and they've got another woman as well that they need to turn into wax. And yeah, once again, he's treating him like a little dog or a little kid as well. And this is where he comes to the line. We come to the line where he says, don't. And he's about to say frying tonight, and she's really not happy about it as well. It just makes her cringe whenever he says it. But then a funny spoiler as well, because Bung has arrived again, and once again, Watt is just very fucking nervous. It's like, oh my god, what's he doing here? What's he after? And he's like, well, the same thing as after last night. Information. And I love Kenneth Williams' look is like, oh yeah, what kind of information did he pump you for? Did you pump him for information? That kind of thing. But I just love his panicking as well. He's just like, oh my god, what is it with all these do-gooders? Why can't people be very thoroughly and nasty like us? God, I wish I was dead. It's like, you are dead. And this is where he finds a clue, and he's like, that's a coincidence. But because he's so smitten by it, he doesn't put two and two together. Maybe he knows, but he's in complete denial. But even though he's investigating, he's basically just there to see her, isn't he? It's like, I couldn't stay away from you. I saw two little inklets that reminded me of your eyes. I saw a kid playing with two balloons that reminded... And she stops him right there before he says it.
She says, Sydney, you've gone too far. No, I meant as our two hearts floating in the wind.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
But of course,
we totally believe you.
Yeah. Just these great lines, these great little sort of like rude little bits of dialogue that can be misinterpreted, that can be sort of used as the it's double entendres, basically.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what the carry-ons used to do so well. But then he mentions the labels, the Made in England labels, so she's thinking, oh my god, yeah, we need to cover our tracks again. We need to get rid of the mannequin that he's discovered. And so she and obviously because Kenneth Williams, Dr. Watt has mentioned he was friends with Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, who used to steal his pocket money because the change did him good. It's like, thankfully he has one of these formulas as well that transforms them. So she does the pretense that will you have a drink with me? It's like, okay, even though I'm on duty, I'm not supposed to, but you're supposed to take it down in one gulp. Which I don't know if that's another kind of dirty joke there.
Yeah.
But it sounds like
definitely is.
Yeah. I would say.
So he obliges, and then I just love his little transformation. Yeah, it looks like the Wolfman that came out this year. So
I can't escape it. It's everywhere.
I know, it's like, come on, this looks better than the fucking Wolfman. This did. This looks miles better than the Wolfman today.
Oh god.
I like the fact he's just this horny little monster thing. That's it.
Every time.
Yeah. He's like, calm down, I'm your mistress. It's like, don't say that, you'll make him worse. But eventually she calms down. She's like, obey me, I need you to do one thing. So yeah, Bernard Breslau sort of lookalike sort of takes him down to the clothing store. And once again, we get another little bit of an establishing shot that pretty much sets up a payoff to a clue. And yeah, he has to be directed as well. He smashes through, gets the mannequin, and they take it back. And yeah, the Steptoe Son theme sort of plays as well, like and he manages to get his car back and goes back home, wakes his wife up, and I like the fact she just assumes he's just been drinking and needs a haircut and needs to go.
Brilliant scene. Love this scene.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's a very funny little act of domestic violence as well. It's like he throws the thing at her mum's picture as well. It's like, what an asshole.
He's been wanting to do that for years.
Yeah, it's kind of like all of his frustrations just sort of like comes out in this sort of Mr. Hyde style creature that he's become. So yeah, he sleeps in the bath, and it is kind of played as he's had a heavy night's drinking and now he's all hungover.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he gets a call by Slow Bottom as well, and apparently about the whole accident, and obviously they suspect Jim Dale's done it because he attacked the place last time. And he's like, "Don't worry, Slow Bottom, we won't do anything. Can I just remind you that every time we ring, we were never doing anything. We're never going to be doing anything." And he seems like he just wants to get it out this time instead of repeating himself again. So he finds out all about it, and once again, Slow Bottom I like the questions he asks as well as like after he finds out, I just got out of bed when I've heard the news, and I was like, was it your bed, sir? And he's like, oh no, actually it was. Whose bed does it even matter? And it's like, it'll matter to some people. Yeah, like he's like, yeah, were you playing away with someone at the time? He's really going too nosy here. So they found the footprints. It's got 6 toes, and it's like, we need to just need the guys to do a thorough investigation. It's like, how thorough can you be to investigate someone who has 6 toes? He's just got this smile as well. You just can't but love him. Is this dumbass smile?
Yeah.
So they bring Jim Dale's character in, and obviously. It's like, take off your boots. I thought, just do it. And he's like, are you sure those are your toes? He's like, who else? Of course it's mine. Who else do you think it is? It's like, well, why you got 5? And he's like, well, how am I supposed to have? It's like 6. What have you done with the other one? He starts actually searching his foot in case the 6 toes just came off. We can sort of see Jim Dale is frustrated as well because twice he's kind of been harassed here as well instead of having his fiance found. So he decides, I'm going to take matters into my own hands now because enough's enough. These guys are idiots. They've got nowhere. I need to do it myself. So the plot escalates a little bit more. His character kind of sort of changes a little bit. He kind of becomes a little bit more determined, a bit more motivated to do what he needs to do. And so obviously the investigation's not gone well, so they think we need to try and conduct it in another way. And they're basically looking at all the clues, and it just leads to fucking this ridiculous line. It's like, feet, foul, something awful.
Yeah, was it foul feet, smell, something awful, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just the way, once again, he plays it so dead straight as well. He has this thinking. He's kind of like if Sherlock Holmes was smart, but he was also kind of a bit of an idiot as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, he just wipes off, saying, perhaps we're approaching this from the wrong angle. But he does come up with a very smart plan, It's like, okay, how are they going to get this guy? Bait them. And, how would you set about catching the mouse? Well, it's bigger than the mouse. I was like, yeah, I'm not talking about an actual bloody mouse, but how would you get about catching a mouse? So Slowbottom's like, okay, we put a bit of cheese on the trap. That's right. We use cheese. Yes, we set a trap, but we don't use cheese. And it's like, what we need to do is use a woman. It's like, well, it's too big for the trap. I'm not suggesting we put a woman on the trap. It's like, I wish I hadn't suggested this. His frustration every time he's trying to sort of cram down his frustration. It's just hilarious to watch. But obviously, it's like, no, we bait them by sending a woman into the woods to catch this perpetrator. And it's like, oh, so who do you think? It's like, well, we can't get a real woman, so we need a guy who can dress like a woman. It's like, who's he? And I love how Slow Bottom is like, good luck doing that. And he just looks at him, and you know instantly.
Now,
Slow
who
Bottom's
do
the
we
pawn.
know?
Yeah, Slow Bottom's the pawn, isn't he? So of course. And yeah, it's an old trope in the Carry On movies where a guy dresses up as a woman, and the guys actually try, and the guys who are unknown about it actually try it on with them and everything. And I love how snarky the fucking tailors are as well. Even I have my limits. It's like, well, it's still a very dark night anyway, so we do kind of get the farce as well, where the wife is suspecting him of seeing another woman, even though it's basically not what's happening. And we get the old Carry On sort of jokes where the guy's having trouble trying to be a woman. You know, he can't move because the clothes are too tight. You know, he can't walk in the heels. And yeah, we're back to Oddbod and Junior getting horny over Valeria.
Not that she minds.
Yeah. But she's basically just training them as well, because this is Junior's first night looking for a girl as well, but they get a bit too rough. And thankfully, Oddbod shows the way, just carries her. He's very nice and calm. And but then he starts getting a bit horny as well, and he's like, naughty Oddbod. Yeah. And Junior's kind of adorable as well. He walks through the walls and everything. And
the voice for Oddbod Junior was actually the director, although it was the Oddbod himself. That was the voice of the actor that played Oddbod, but Oddbod Junior was voiced by Gerald Thomas.
yeah, I wonder why they did that then. Anyway, couldn't the actor make the voice possible?
I think they had too much of a similarity between the voices, and I think in the edit, I think they really wanted to have distinguishing, completely different voices. So he sort of post-synced that, sort of whiny voice rather than the
Yeah, even the beasts who are like kidnapping women are kind of endearing as well. I mean, they don't seem evil. They just seem like they're kind of like big fucking dogs, aren't they? That are just obeying their masters.
They are just like that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah, everyone's so likable in this. Even the bad people in this are very likable. It's I don't know how they don't.
They really are.
It's good actors, isn't it?
Yeah.
So obviously they're stopping the woods. His wife is not so happy about it. She starts stalking them, finding out what's happening, and I just love it. It's like, imagine if my wife could see me now. and obviously he means it like she would find it hilarious as well. She would probably not actually, no, because she seems like a stick in the mud, doesn't she, her character? So
yeah.
It'd be a good way to rub it in her face a little bit. And then Jim Dale, once again, this bumbling pretty boy, just does it so well. He tries to park the bike very quietly while getting the shotgun out, but then the bike just fucking falls and he starts fiddling about a little bit. And this is one shot I couldn't get. I couldn't get the one where he accidentally points the shotgun the wrong way before flipping it back to the right way. But that was a good bit of physical acting there by Jim Dale.
Yeah.
Mm. So once again, it's like, all right, we got to make this plan work. We got to make it look convincing. You need to look more seductive, and because you look like nutty sacks, whatever the line is. And then
nutty slack, which
nutty
is
slack, that's it. Yeah,
nutty slack. Nutty slack.
Nutty slacks now.
Nutty slack is basically coal, a bag of coal.
Mm. It sounds very old-timey as well.
It is, yeah. It's called Nutty Slack, yeah.
Yeah, so now Junior grabs John Sims' character. They hear something, they've got to investigate. He gets the pistol out. It's like, Sarge, don't leave me, Sarge. And then he comes by Oddball, and he's like, oh, what a smashing get-up. And he doesn't realize what the...
Bless him.
Yeah. But then he realizes the danger is in as well, and he's like, help. Obviously, yeah, they come to tussles as well. They bump into each other, and they realize what's happened. And they found an ear that's missing, so obviously it leads them to an actual conclusion. The Bardawee house, and Kenneth Williams tried to have another go at regenerating Rubber TT by putting electrical sockets onto his tits, which once again, some more entendres. Don't worry, just a small prick. There you go. But he's the fun is all spoilt because there's more business to conduct, and he seems real annoyed as well that his sort of plan to resurrect Robert TT is interrupted by work, you know. So once again, establishing the different relationship to these characters, which I mean, they make a very convincing brother and sister duo, don't they?
Yeah.
They really do. And yeah, poor John Sims is like, what am I supposed to do with this old rubbish? It's like, well, we could take it to the more, well, there's probably some more matronly fits stores that they can take her to, and it's like, yeah, well, they'll have a fucking fit when they see this. Ah, man, I feel sorry for you.
You have to lay there and listen to that. That was terrible. Oh my God.
And even worse, the guy who looks nothing like a woman, who actually looks like a man in drag, is fucking the better choice, who actually still seems the appropriate choice. I was like, damn. Imagine having Peter Butterworth being told that Peter Butterworth is more attractive than you. It's right. There's kind of a cruelty there. Yeah, but then they realize it's a fucking man. It's like, how do you know? Well, I am a doctor. It's like, but instead of sort of like killing him as well, because they really, even though it's basically one of the police officers, they know it's the police officers. They think, okay, well, maybe we can still make this work. We can still turn him into wax and fit him off and send him off to the male tailor store. So obviously, they show up to Valeria, and he's letting her know, oh, there's been another abduction. I need you to stay here safe, and and I will stay here and protect you, and my friend will go out and report to the station. But she's like, no, we can't have him report to the station about what's happening, and we need to keep them both here so we can kill them, get rid of the evidence, and proceed with our business. So she starts using the charms on both of them, and even Jim Dale's kind of smitten as well, understandably, and he's real annoyed as well that he doesn't get to spend the time alone with her as well, because now he's got a fucking third wheel, and he's all jealous as well. So now the plan to dispatch them is something a little bit more rudimentary to Dr. Watt, and that's the snake, though he would have preferred something a bit more extreme. So moving on, and the snake comes in with, and there is a kind of this little misunderstanding, like, stop poking me. It's like, I have been doing no such thing. And he starts, I think he assumes he's gay or something, doesn't he? And that he's trying it on with him. Yeah. Yeah, but it does go a bit more farcical at the end as well when they start getting stalked by Oddball and Junior. So they shoot the snake, bang.
There's kind of a Laurel and Hardy sort of vibe in this, the two guys in the bed, and something that sort of innocence about it, really. I mean, they did draw from an awful lot, particularly as I said before, British music hall, but there's definitely a lot of American influence in this one in particular, I think.
Yeah, no, and I kind of see what you mean with the Laurel Hardy or Abbott and Costello thing as well, because it's kind of, it's like Abbott Costello meets Frankenstein, where you got these two sort of idiots who are kind of caught in this sort of like extreme circumstances. Yeah. So extreme. Stop, I'm blushing. Yeah, Valeria. can't blame her. So, got something in private chat. Wait a minute. Be right back. Oh yeah, Rachel. Yeah, so, that's fine. You know, if you need a piss break or whatever. So yeah, so Admiral, there's references. You got alt history lesson on French. Would have forever been known as Mr. Nats. Oh yeah, that was a joke, a little private joke from earlier. So, didn't IT crowd use the Made in England as a nod to this movie when the fire extinguisher caught fire? Yeah, they did. Yeah, that was a fucking good one. Yeah, where he sends the email to the fucking fire brigade and sits in the actual burning room with the fire brigade to show up.
Yeah, that's right.
God, Captain Peacock from Hybe's. Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
It was.
It's one of the guys who owns the woman's
Yeah,
store.
the sort of the clothes shop, the tailor, I suppose, or dressmaker.
Yeah, so Nutty Slack, yeah, it's like Nutty Slack from the Coal Slag Heap. It's a Yorkshire thing. Yeah, fucking hell. Even though I'm Yorkshire, it must be a very old school thing as well because
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, there does seem to be a little bit of like context historically as well, especially with the phones where she's obviously not used to it because it was a new thing. And it does give you a little bit more insight into how probably annoying it was and frustrating to have if you're a police officer that's on call 24/7. Yeah. Why should a man be dressed as a woman? Oh, yeah, maybe his mother wanted a girl. So, yeah. So, Morecambe and Wise as well. So,
yeah, that's right. Yeah. I mean, Morecambe and Wise definitely lifted that from Laurel and Hardy.
Yeah, and the dynamic does sort of change as well because it's mostly just been Sergeant Bung and Slowbottom, but this time it's with Jim Dale's character. I forget Jim Dale's character, to be honest, and Sergeant Bung.
Is it Peter Potter? Is it Peter
Potter? That's it. Yeah, because it's an old-timey name, Potter.
Yeah.
So Slowbottom chose to have a look around, to try and escape. But Potter's kind of acting like a normal human being. Is like, listen, there's something weird going on in this house, and I don't want to be around to find out what happens next.
Yeah.
And he's been way too calm about this, Bung as well. He should be. But of course, this is where he finally realizes, he's like, listen, completely normal. Then he sees them, he does a double take, and it's like, brah.
Yeah. But it's funny. I mean, as basic as the plots generally are in a Carry-On movie, I think you have in this one, obviously all of the horror tropes are shoved in there, in abundance. But you have that character of Potter, who is representative of us. Really, he's the only one that seems to have any kind of idea of what's going on. He's the audience. Yeah,
because he does end up kind of being the smarter guy in the room accidentally, despite being a bit of a bumbling tit at times.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Rachel's back. So, and I do like the fact he almost cries over seeing Slowbottom there, thinking he's dead. He's like, yeah, he gave him shit, but he does seem to have, there is still a affection to him, yes, for him as well. Yeah, but thankfully he gets up and he's almost about to throttle him as well for making him fucking shocking him like that. It's like, oh, I thought it was horrible. You was one of those horrible things again. It's like, it is one of those horrible things again. Yeah, so they go around there looking for him, but thankfully they don't find him. And then they come by Doris as well, and this is where they start to realize, oh yeah, he was right all along. She was turned into a mannequin, and they've also found out how to bring her back as well. So now Sergeant Bung is like, okay, this place is weird, and obviously, and this is where we lead to another kind of cruel joke against Johnson.
Oh yes, brilliant! I love this joke. Oh, bad luck.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, because he's basically investigating it for evidence, only to find out it's his wife, and this horrible thing happens to be my wife. It's like, oh, bad luck. Oh, bad luck, Sergeant. I do almost like the fact he does actually seem a little bit upset to see her like this as well, despite all the fucking shit they've had together. Because, there probably was something that made them fall in love with each other a long time ago, and it probably is. It is probably bringing it back to him a little bit. but only for a short while, as we see at the ending.
Yeah.
I know. I
Well,
mean,
that in itself is a trope, especially in British comedy. The
Yeah.
married couple that absolutely loathes each other.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true.
yeah, you almost feel sorry for him a little bit. He even sort of feels bad when he sort of like puts the head down a bit too quickly. But yeah, obviously they got to get the fuck out of there. But guns are no use against these creatures, and yeah, slow bottom and fucking Doris man just sprint at the same time.
I love that he keeps the wig on the entire time.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, I mean, the jig is up. Just take it off now. I mean, it's like. But once I love how the Junior smashing through the wall instead of using the door kind of becomes a setup for a good little, you know, a little bit of a payoff here as well. A very comical payoff where he actually asks him to help with the chair. He doesn't. Actually, all them, and then he sees them, and then the look on his face as well. It's just like. That's the face of a guy who knows he's doomed, and he even tries to off himself. It's like that kind of goes a bit dark there. Yeah, but Jim Dale is taking the serum as well because we're gonna die. May as well have a nice hard drink to sort of lessen the fear of death. But no, he turns into this Mr. Hard creature, and he takes them all on, and he throws a dummy version of one of them through the window.
I love those dummy scenes. You know, those just brilliant.
They don't even try to hide it. It's
I know. Yeah, I don't think they could back then either. I think they were doing the best with what they could because I think they still had a bit of a moderate budget, even though they were very successful. But
yeah, pretty low budget.
yeah,
I think it was. I think they said it was something like 73 or 76,000 pounds or something that this was made for. Something ridiculous like that.
yeah. So £76,000 in today's money. Let's have a look during inflation. Let's have a look. Fucking phone takes its time. Do apologise. Okay, was it £70,000?
I think it was around about somewhere between 73 and 76. So let's just say 74 and a half.
Yeah, £74,500 in today's money. In today's money, come on. Okay. Oh, for fuck's sake, now I've got to go on the website. I'll leave it anyway. Let chat do this for me. Educate my ignorant ass. So
they are good at that.
yeah. So now I love this line. Kenneth Williams says, "You think this is just for was it for Greenfly, but it's full of petulant stuff and it works." It's like what? But Rubber TT comes to life and it's like, but it just, and it seems like a very joyous moment for Watt, but yeah, Watt turns out to not like it because Rubber TT seems to want it to kill him for some reason. It's like, it's never explained why, but yeah, it just keeps coming at him. But eventually he meets the same fate as his victims. He falls into the that white liquid stuff that I think it's wax or something, and then into that. He falls into like boiling chemicals as well later on, and does the land frying tonight?
Yeah. Was it? They call it vitrification, isn't it? They vitrify them. Yeah.
Yeah,
which is a bit odd. Yeah, because I think vitrification, I think is a glass reference. I think it means. I'm sure it means something like hardened glass or something like that.
Well, yeah, because it's like taking something and turning it into something solid with something hot, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean these are supposed to be sort of kind of waxworks, but kind of, I don't know what they'd be made of really, but who cares anyway?
Yeah, but yeah.
They turn into dummies.
Don't think too hard.
I'm going too deep on that one.
So Dr. Waters basically just had his just desserts because he's that's always kind of a poetic death, like they go out the same way as their victims, which is always very fitting. I love it when a villain's death is kind of like a fuck you to him back from the hero. And obviously Potter and Doris Mann have now got married. They come to visit Bung. It's all happy. And he invites them in for tea and crumpets. And they see that his wife is still a dummy. But, we could bring her back, like we did with Doris. And he's like,
No.
I know. It's like, he knows he could, but I don't think he wants to, because now he's got Fenella Fielding looking after
There
him.
she is, and a little Pinny there.
Yeah, it's kind of dark as well.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like, she's looking after you, and he's like, yes. And he looks at his wife and says, horrible.
It's horrible, isn't it?
And she winks as well at the camera. Yeah, that's a dark ending. I mean, she winks as well. It's
Yeah.
So she's in there as well, and she probably has to endure the torture of seeing her husband with this woman for probably until the day they die.
Yeah.
That is kind of cruel,
Yes.
but kind of fucking funny as well.
It is. But
Yeah.
there is a humor in certain, cruelty, isn't there?
Yeah, plus it's a horror
Yes.
stuff. You're supposed to have this sort of like cruel endings. That's why we love the Tales of the Crypt. We laugh at the horrific endings these shitty people sort of put themselves in. So 74,000 in that 66 is equivalent to approximately 739,945 pounds.
Really, that much?
Wow.
I'm
That's
surprised. Dang.
that's a lot. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
inflation has really screwed us over.
Yeah.
God.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why you should never vote for socialists. But,
Good point. Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm going to get arrested now. It's like, you said something about socialism, you did, under Keir Starmer's law.
We saw
this
that
is-
stream.
Yeah.
But this is I mean, out of all of the Carry On films, I think this one and Carry On Cleo, I think, are perhaps the ones with the best production value. They're two of my favorites. They're not my absolute favorites, but I think that they're both the best because they're the best made films out of all of them. That's my personal opinion. Particularly, I think this one kind of tips the scale considerably. I know that Ken Russell was never a fan of these. He was quite a sort of a curmudgeon, Ken Russell, but I love his work. I love his films. I think he was an incredibly interesting man. But when it comes to anything that had any cultural significance, he dismissed it immediately. Particularly these, he was very, very acidic about the Carry On films and said that they're absolute trash. But that's one man's opinion, and he's entitled to it because we live in a free country, or used to live in a free country, should I say?
I don't know.
So he said it when we lived in a free country. So, but they're good. They're fun. They're not to be taken seriously in any way, shape, or form. They're not magnificent pieces of cinema, and there's no pretense about them being fantastic pieces of cinema or high art. They are what they are. I happen to like them, not all of them, but I happen to like most of them. I think the poorest ones were probably the last four, and maybe I didn't really like Carry On, Follow That Camel. I thought that was appalling, and Carry On Jack, I thought it was terrible. And I didn't go
Yeah,
for.
the 70s really do. It does start to decline a little bit. Carry On, Follow That Camel. Yeah, it's the one with Sergeant
Phil
Bilko.
Silvers. Yeah, Phil Silvers. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a funny guy as well. I just don't think his kind of comedy sort of meshed with the Carry On style.
Yeah, he unfortunately he wasn't really aware of the Carry On films, and he just played the character as Bilko. But I love him as Sergeant Bilko. I think he's just a fantastic performer, fantastic as that character. But also, again, another really, really good actor. Because obviously they say that comedy is the hardest of the genre to perform and to perform well. And I believe that. It's the most serious and most difficult. I mean, how difficult must it be to be given somebody else's lines and somebody else's action to perform and to make that funny, if on the page it doesn't necessarily look that particularly funny. So yeah, it's quite a tough thing to do. I mean, these do it. They're not all laugh out loud. My particular favorites, like I say, I love this one. I absolutely adore this one. Carry On Cleo, um, for very, very similar reasons, in as much as when Cleopatra was being made, the Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor Cleopatra was being made over at Pinewood Studios at the time. It was abandoned. You know, they were shooting for, I think they're filming for about a year and a half, and they only managed to get, 10 minutes of usable footage. And Elizabeth Taylor was very, very ill. In fact, she was so ill that she almost died. And she had to fly back to America, and then they decided, because of the poor weather over here, that they wanted to film in Rome. So they dismantled all of the sets. They scrapped most of the sets. They didn't take anything over to Rome because it would have been too expensive, and they just rebuilt everything over at Cinecittà Studios in Rome. In the meantime, the Carry On team, the producers of the Carry On movies, they knew about the big hoo-ha regarding Cleopatra. So they decided that they were going to go to the scene dock, the old scene dock at Pinewood Studios, and they extracted a few of the sets. So they repurposed the original sets that were designed for Cleopatra. They repurposed them for Carry On Cleo. So that's why that's got amazing production value in that movie, because they didn't have to design any of the sets. They were pretty much all done for them. So that's why it looks so amazing.
Yeah, it
I
must
mean,
be another reason why they was able to sort of like make these films very quickly as well, because it was
yeah,
like nearly every year there was like a Carry On movie, wasn't there?
yeah. In some years there were two.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
and
I'm pretty sure as well, because I think because there was some films that didn't always have the full regular cast. You know, a bunch of regular cast was on one film, and another bunch of the regular cast was on another, wasn't they?
yeah, they sort of swap over, and I think it was a lot of it was due to availability, because they, as I said before, they were still jobbing actors. I mean, Sid James was an incredibly busy actor, which is why he couldn't do this. I think he was in pantomime at
Yeah,
the time.
because he was. I think he was doing theatre when instead of doing this role, even though they
Yeah,
wanted him for it. But
yeah,
having Harry H. Corbett was probably the odd choice, because he was not one of the regulars. But it
yeah,
sort of helps as well, the fact that he's a bit of an outsider, and
yeah. It does. It does.
I know. It's a shame he
Yeah,
didn't do more though, because he does work well with the regulars.
it does
He
actually. I mean,
does.
yeah, especially with Peter Butterworth, I think.
I know they've got great chemistry.
Yeah,
They've all got great chemistry. These actors on here. I mean,
yeah.
obviously, and I don't know if Fenella Fielding did anymore, because if there is, I've probably not
The only
seen
other
that.
one that other one that she did was one that you have seen, which is Carry On Spying.
Oh, well, it has been a long time since I watched
Yeah,
that one. But yeah,
yeah.
that was the first one I watched, and honestly, I've only ever watched it once.
Oh, was
I've
it
done
Carry On
one
Spying?
rewatch on it.
Was
That's
it
it. I need
No,
to rewatch.
sorry, I beg your pardon. It wasn't Carry On Spying. It was Carry On Regardless.
I've not seen that
Yeah,
one. The thing
sorry.
is, the wife has actually did get the full box set of all the carry-ons or what's last year, and I've still not watched all the ones that I've not seen yet. So
Yeah,
I probably do need to probably have a little bit of a binge one day.
Camping is, I think,
Mm,
probably the most popular, because it's just pure. It's pure camp, isn't it? I mean,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
just brilliant.
yeah.
Yeah,
So no pun intended.
yeah. I mean,
I
it
wonder if
really is.
I wonder if that was the first carry-on to actually have a little bit of nudity in it as well, because you do see it at the beginning, don't you? With the
Yeah, you do, and of course you see, when Barbara Windsor gets, if you pause it, not that I did when I was a young
Mm.
kid, but if you
Oh, of course not.
if you put if you manage to sort of pause it at as kind of a split frame where Barbara Windsor's bikini top suddenly flies off, and you get a tiny little bit of flesh.
So for
Um,
Light
American
titillation.
But
Yeah,
you have to be very, very keen on the pause button. You have to be very, very good.
yeah. For all of our Americans who don't know who Barbara Windsor is, she was a very well respected British actress. But she had a bit of a history as well. I mean, apparently
Yes,
she
she
was
did.
very very friendly with the Cray twins in real life back in her younger days. But
I'll after the stream, if you've got 5 minutes, I'll tell you some stories. Actually, I've
oh
got
yeah,
I've got a
we'll
couple
be
of stories.
finishing soon anyway because it's because Carry On Screaming is it's that I've said this before already. I mean, it's definitely one of the sort of like it's still got that Carry On humor, but at the same time it feels very different because it doesn't feel like you're watching a Carry On film when you look at it. It really does look more like a Hammer horror, but then you get all the double entendres and you're like, oh yeah, it's a Carry On movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
It is.
the production design on this is fucking brilliant as well. As soon as I look at that, I think, okay, the Curse of Frankenstein, the old
Yeah,
Dracula movies with Christopher Lee. It's just it's so morbidly stunning to look at. That's the only way I can describe it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a great entry in the Carry On. I suppose you could call it a franchise, but series really. It's a great entry in the Carry On series. It's probably the best. Like I say, it's not my favorite, but it's definitely the best one. It's the best looking one. I think it's the best put together one. It's really superbly edited. It's a really well edited one. Um, yeah, I love it. I adore this film.
I
I
know I watch
really
it
do.
every Halloween, and I don't know why it's kind of seen as a Halloween classic because it still feels like the type of thing to watch around this time of year.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
So yeah, MOT Craze, are they the gangsters from that Morrissey song? Ah, the last of the international playboys. Ronnie
Yeah,
Craig, you know my
yeah,
name. So yeah,
yeah,
yeah, it's the Craze. They were real. I mean, if you've seen Legend with Tom Hardy, then you know who the Craze are.
yeah. Worked on that.
Mm. I don't mind it actually. I mean, it's not I
Yeah.
don't think it's my favorite gangster film, but I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I don't think. I think the Cray twins seem to be a very hard characters to write a movie around because
Yeah,
I mean, I
yeah.
don't even mind the Kent Brothers
Mm.
version, even though you
Mm.
do kind of feel like it's been rushed a little bit. But we're getting off track anyway because. So yeah, it's hard to fucking find something else to praise this movie about because when we go through this movie, we pretty much say what we need to say, unless there is something else you want to say about this, anyone. Because I think Rachel hasn't really said much about it. But is there anything
Oh,
you love about it?
I love how close it is to a Hammer horror. At the beginning, if it didn't have the song, you could be fooled into thinking that's what you were about to watch.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then it just goes into such hilarious territory. And it just keeps going. It keeps pushing all the way to the end. Even the cruelty of the ending, because it is a cruel ending.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
still
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
It's
I know
still funny.
I know it's like you can be the nicest person in the world, but if you watch a really dark ending where a character that doesn't deserve it is suffered a cruel fate, you still laugh because you're still sort of. I know it's like sometimes we need a little bit of the morbid ending. It's why we still watch. It's why we still watch No Country for Old Men, just to sort of be
Mm.
reminded that there is a dark part of humanity that we need to come to terms with.
I will
Right.
say though, I do rather like the song. It's very kind of
Really good.
swinging 60s, swinging London kind of theme tune. That's it just really kind of because I like that period anyway. I like that whole sort of swinging London thing from the late 60s, early 70s in particular, when London was very really quite sleazy, but now it's been very cleaned up, very sanitized and cleansed and disinfected, unfortunately. But there were parts of London that were that had actually Admiral Teague was talking about New York last night, and I meant to mention to him that London has exactly the same problem, the way certain parts of London's character has been cleaned up just a little too much, and it's a great shame. It's a great shame, like Soho, parts of Soho. I liked it when it was, you know, unpleasant and, you know, quite sleazy because it had character. You know, but anyway, so I was sorry, slightly off the
Yeah,
topic, but yeah, I like the
a
song.
lot of there seems to be a lot of character in the '60s,
Yeah,
London as well, especially when you had like the mod bands and the Beatles and all that lot,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
the mods and the rockers going against each other back in that time. You know, where you had tons of people wearing like these US Army pack as well, riding these scooters. I mean, I do like because I used to be into the old mod thing when I was younger, and
yeah, yeah. It's great, great.
yeah, there is kind of charm seeing these like old photographs as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, we have like Denmark Street in London, known as Tin Pan Alley, which is um, you know, every building, every venue, everything on that street is music industry connected. In fact, um, I um, I was asked to do a Blur video. Um, so I worked on a Blur
Oh,
video.
nice.
I had to yeah. So I had to the place where I had to go was actually in Denmark Street, and of course, as you walk down Denmark Street, I mean, it's fantastic. All you hear are these guitars and these guitars playing and drums playing and music from every quarter. It just kind of felt like I'd walked back in time, you know, because you're hearing all these bands playing, and yeah, it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I might do that Quadrophenia. It is actually one of my favorite movies.
Mm,
I love it. I do.
yeah, great cast.
And but going back to yeah, the song it does kind of remind me of like something Bacharach would have done if he was doing music for a horror movie. You know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
so
it has.
swing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah,
You're right. You're absolutely right. Spot on.
so
Yeah,
he was kind of the master of '60s swing in my opinion as well. I mean, he didn't.
yeah,
I mean, even if because he rarely sung on these songs, but it was always other singers that were singing the songs, but you heard the music, you knew that was Bacharach and Hal
yeah,
David doing that stuff.
yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I've seen him live as well. I saw him live in Glastonbury about 10 years ago. I mean, he was still a
Did
bit old.
you?
Yeah, he was a little bit old and
Lucky.
frailer now, but he was still
Oh
going.
man,
You know,
that's
he still had
fantastic.
it. He still had it.
That's
That's
fantastic.
wonderful.
That's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I would have loved to have seen Burt Bacharach. You know, again, he's another one of those, you know, great songwriters and composers that he plays about with time signatures. You know, he has very, very strange time signatures in his music, and that I think is what makes him so appealing. It's very, very different. But I do like that sort of easy listening Burt Bacharach stuff.
I know it's like I kind of I've not listened to his stuff in a while. I need to go back to it because I love this guy's in love with you, and
Yeah. Oh my
you know,
God, what a song that is.
it is. Yeah, there is an old school romanticism to it as well. It's
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
melodies,
Yes.
everything, and
Yeah.
there is something about this that does feel very 1960s as well. I mean, there's something about this look, this sort of like old school sort of charm to it. This the way the actors just sort of bounce off each other. And honestly, I don't think there's anything else I can say about it because I've already established how fucking great the characters are, the chemistry between Harry H. Corbett and Peter Butterworth, and now Corbett really is really underrated in this because he just plays it so straight. He's kind of he comes across as a very competent cop, but he's also kind of a bumbling fool himself a little bit. He just happens to be less of a bumbling fool than Slowball.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Just can't identify it. You know, he can't identify his own failures, his own his own shortcomings.
I know, but I think that's why it makes him a good character because he's the underdog, aren't he? You know, like because because if he was a high-ranking police officer, it wouldn't work as much. You know, it's because the best characters usually are the losers. That's because we relate to them.
Yeah, yeah.
He definitely sees himself as the great detective, though, and that
He does.
that makes it even more hilarious.
Yeah,
I know. But like I said, we've said about Jim Dale's Potter character. He ends up being kind of the smarter one. I mean, he sees something is weird in the house. He wants to get the fuck out of there, like a normal human being should.
Yeah.
Right.
He is. He is the only normal one there, really. I mean, as you say, he might be a little bit a little bit of a panicker at times, but there is something a little bit more human about him, you know.
Well, when there's reason to panic, there's
When there's
nothing
reason
wrong
to
with
panic, absolutely, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's got good farce as well in a way. It's like this is very good farcical little tone to it as well. Which yeah, that's it. I think I've already said my piece on it. My final thoughts, Inside Man, on Carry On Screaming.
I think you've just hit the nail on the head with that one.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
it is a British farce. It's, you know, this follows in the tradition. You know, I've been talking about you know, music hall, British music hall, but it's more. You're absolutely right. It's more of a British farce than anything else. You know, these sort of situational, almost a situational comedy. You know, yeah, I love it. I do. I really love this film. I've got a great deal of affection for this, and it sort of stretches way back to when I was a kid, and I still think that Fenella Fielding is really hot.
Yeah, she deserved better as well in there last year. She really did.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So Rachel Pearcy Art, final thoughts on Carry On Screaming, and we'll get to the
Oh,
promotions later as well.
yeah, you're both right. It's such a classically British comedy. And I'm so glad that it's easily available now. Now that it's been added to Tubi, more people can see it and enjoy it over here. And
Yeah.
because I'm probably not the only one that had never heard of these films until you two started talking about them. And now I have
Oh,
a place to check them all out for
oh,
free.
good.
But
Yeah,
it's just wonderful, especially for somebody that does love Hammer horror.
yeah.
And it feels like you've stepped into one, only a ridiculous one.
It does.
Just
Isn't it
love it.
amazing? I think it was who's the director of photography? Alan Hume, I think, was the DOP on this. And boy, does he does he work hard here. He really kind
Yeah,
of
it does.
earned his supper on this one. It's just beautifully shot, you know.
Mhm.
But you're right, Rachel. I mean, this could be a Hammer film. It looks like a Hammer film. It looks like it's straight out of you know, the Hammer House of Horror.
Yeah, they were not above making fun of themselves like they do in The House That Dripped Blood, the final one
Yeah,
especially.
yeah, yeah,
They're making fun of their own films in that
yeah,
one,
yeah,
which it's John Pertwee making fun of their films, and that's
yeah,
just
Yeah.
wonderful. I love that section.
yeah, yeah.
I know, because going back to the look of it as well, I think that's why Scream works better as a parody more than scary movie, because it's still a slasher movie. It just happens to be a slasher movie that's realized, okay, it's a slasher movie, but we're still going to play it straight. There's still character backstories and everything like that. A tragedy that's kind of influenced the motivation behind the killer. You know, shame the sequels kind of started to milk it a little bit.
Do you know, I'm glad that you've mentioned Scream. Funny enough, I've just been reading an academic work on slasher films. Funny enough, and of course, many of the slasher films that we know and love, you know, the you know, Friday the 13th and Halloween, etc., etc. But many others, many others sort of thrown in there. Scream came along at the right time, and it was Scream that actually did or caused the revival of slasher movies with certain generations. I mean, so many younger people that went to see Scream didn't really know what these earlier movies were,
Mhm.
and it was a really good entry point for them. You know, to hear about all these different movies that are influencing, you know, the characters and the situations within the first Scream movie. I think it was a fantastic idea to have come up with, to have referenced so many of these films. Um, and it really did revive the slasher movie, and it really caused an awful lot of younger people to go back and start to investigate these older movies. And, you know, although I'm not a fan of the franchise per se, I think the first one is exceptional.
It really is. Thank
Yeah,
God
it
for
is.
Kevin Williamson, really.
Yeah, yeah,
Just for Scream.
yeah, yeah. I completely agree.
Yeah, Matthew Lillard as well, who's apparently going to be in the new one, despite the fact he had his head crushed by a TV. It's yeah, but apparently I've heard Matthew
That
Lillard
new
is a
one.
very nice guy as well in real life. So I don't know what they're going to do with it. It's probably going to. I don't know what the new sequels are like. I've not seen 4, 5, and 6, and was the last one 7?
Okay, 4 is worth it. 4 is almost as good as the first one. I won't say as good, but almost. 4 is very good. 5, 6, and whatever they're going to do with this next atrocity for the series. Stop. Just stop.
Yeah.
You've
Please.
lost
Yeah.
your lead actresses. You've lost your
Yeah.
main characters. Just stop.
Yeah.
Please.
I get the 4th one coming out because it was kind of like during the time where every film was getting rebooted and it was sort of spoofing the reboots a little bit. But
Yeah. That's why they did it, to make fun of the reboots that were happening for all these classic horror franchises. But
I just hope it's not going to be a multiverse.
Oh, I wouldn't put anything past them with these.
Yeah, I mean the next Scream should have should be told by the point of view of the dog. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually a good film for as well. I mean, it's once again, it's a very simple film. I don't know if I can do a bastards breakdown of it because, you know, we'll probably get it over and done with in like 5 minutes because that's how simple the plot is. But it is still worth a watch. I do recommend it, and I'm going to try and do a. And since I'm mentioning it, we'll get into the promotions. I am going to try and do a review on that later. But right now, my 28 Days Later review should be out already for my Halloween seasonal reviews. So next week should be Hocus Pocus 2, which was God, I really hated rewatching it. But sometimes you got to do a shit one to put out because I don't know, people are sadists. They like watching someone have a nervous breakdown watching a bad movie for some reason.
Just screaming at the TV. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, that movie should not have been fucking made. There was no point. I mean, all right, the leads in the first one were generic, but we still got the relationship between them, and they still had some actors who brought some personality to these characters. The ones in the sequel fucking don't. But we'll get more to that when I do the review. So, Rachel Pearcy Art, what do you want to promote before we finish?
Well, hopefully, barring any insanity in the next 24 hours, I will hopefully be talking about Halloween on my own channel tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. This is the second time I've scheduled it, and hopefully this time is the charm. But other than that, I'm anywhere anyone asks me to be. That's how I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, I mean, I want to try and see if we can get on Nad's channel one day because she goes on a little later, so I need to probably reschedule my sleep schedule, blah blah blah, all that stuff. And I think Derivative Jill wants me on her channel as well, so I'm gonna try and find a way to free up my schedule to jump on hers because she's added me onto a chatting on X, and I feel a bit bad that I've kind of had to basically decline her offers. So I will try later. So yeah, thanks Rachel Pearcy Art. And if you send me the link to your GoFundMe to help you with your mum, I will put it in the description later. And I've got your channel on the description as well. And Inside Man, I've got the same thing for you. And also send me the links to your art page as well, Rachel, and I'll put that in the description too. So hopefully we can get more people not just subscribing to your channel, but also buying your work as well. So yeah, thanks for joining me, Rachel, and thanks for joining me Inside Man. You're all beautiful bastards, and yeah, everyone in chat, Motig, RTNZ, Mr. E, Nix, and Duke of many things. You know what? I might try and get you on for Red Dwarf too, because you've got your own channel as well. It'd be good to have you on, and you're a Red Dwarf nerd like me, so that'd be good to So it'll definitely work as well. Motig. So yeah, just go to Nix's comment where he mentions everyone in chat in order. See if I can find it. I might have missed it, but Lord Toxic, thanks for joining us. Ron Mikkelson, thanks for joining us. Who else? Artie sent me a super chat for $2 New Zealand. That's I am very appreciative towards any super chats that you give me. you know, especially multi-trillionaires who have $1 million to spare without feeling the pinch. But never happened. Fucking hell. That'd be a laugh if someone actually did that. Scroll up. Yeah, Box Office Brawler. Thanks for jumping on. Oh, fucking hell. If you've managed to join me today on my stream, I hope I can get you on there for another stream next time.
Oh, don't forget Nick's.
Yeah,
forget Nick's. Nick's is always a massive.
Never mention Nick's. I can never forget Nick. Sorry, I can never mention Nick's too. It gives him a big ego. But yeah,
oh, Fandad, yeah.
Yeah, he's too busy. Otherwise, I would have had him on. I thought he was coming on as well, but no, apparently I was wrong. I thought Al was, but he's in Manchester at the moment. So yeah, I think that's it. Thank you everyone for coming on and listening to us talk a lot of bollocks about this classic movie. You've all been very beautiful, and I really hope you enjoy your weekend as well. And I hope to see you next week for Christine with Lord Toxic, and I think Critter might be on there as well. And who? I don't know who else is joining us. I'll have to check my chats later. I think it might be Nad, or is it you, Rachel, that's coming on for Christine next week? Or
Well, I'd be happy to.
yeah, I'll have you on as well. I'll have you on as well. Yeah. For the person who's coming on for Christine, I do apologize. Christ, I'm getting a lot of YouTubers. I'm talking to a lot of YouTubers, so I kind of end up forgetting. So let me find my brain a minute. I do apologize. It's in a jar. I need to place it back in my head. So, and whether you beautiful bastards, I know of an English or not, thanks for watching. And do remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring that bell in order to be notified. And please do the same for my darling guests. And if you wish to further support the channel, links are in the description below. But right now, that's us done. And we're off to the pub in hell.
Ha 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 ha!